And we've got to play both those teams above us one more game, but that means nothing unless we can beat Dallas today, who have got the best record in the league at 25-15. I don't see them getting caught, Dave, but I'm going to say what I said a little bit earlier. Watch that number 3 team, San Diego. Something's made them mad, something's made them angry, and while they might not win it, they're going to be a team that has to be beaten in that Eastern Division, in the Western Division rather, for somebody to go forward.
All right, let's talk about the Wings. Which team will show up? If it's the team that played Cleveland Thursday, although they took them to overtime on sheer talent, the Wings are more talented than anyone in the league. It could be a long night, but if they show up like Saturday when they beat St. Louis, it could be a long night for Dallas.
And you're not going to know until about the first quarter's over exactly which team's going to show up, A or B team. If it's the A team, we can compete and beat anybody in this league. If it's the B team, it's going to be a long 60 minutes. And with playing last night, everybody's going to be waiting until we see exactly what happens when the game starts as to which team's shown up.
You saw on the screen, it's been wild and exciting the last 3 times these teams have played. Stay tuned, the kickoff is coming up next. This is MISL Soccer. Welcome to Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. I'm Dave Phillips along with Roy Turner. I can't hear any commands from a director or a producer. We need to get that taken care of right away. But in the meantime, Roy, I guess you can hear me.
I can hear you fine, Dave,
okay.
Just because you're sitting next to me.
I can't hear you, but we'll try to get through this. Dale Irvine, Michael Fox, Goran Hunyak up front for the Wichita Wings. As the Wings dump it into the Dallas end, Joe Papaleo, the Dallas goalkeeper, takes it and fires it back. We'll set the players, and that's the one to watch for Dallas. Tattoo, number 9. Greg Willen takes it away. Tattoo and Willen fight. Tattoo comes out with it. He's taken down. Tripped by Greg Willen. Foul against Willen and the Wichita Wings.
And right now, we've got Willen. He's going to be taking the responsibility, or Tom Sohn. That's going to be 2-man-for-man situations. Willen and Tom Sohn giving them responsibility as number 1 player in the MISL, Tattoo.
Dallas ball at midfield. Mike Powers and Doc Lawson control it. Lawson goes to the halfway line. His shot is into the crowd, out of play. 14:22 to go in the first. Obviously, we're just underway. No score, Dallas and Wichita.
Yeah, we're going to see a goal kick, and both teams right now sensitive to the other's predicament. In other words, Dallas coming in here quite confident, 25-15, playing against Wichita, who played last night, and also they're playing like less than 24 hours later. So it's going to be tough, but Dallas, no score early on in the contest as both teams making changes, getting some fresh legs on. Dallas will make it very, very difficult indeed to get to penetrate. That's what they're known for, defense, and then Tattoo takes care of the rest down the other end of the field. And so far, Wichita, zone-wise, have been offensively minded, but actual pressure and getting good shots off, Dallas have prevented just that as they break.
It's Beto, who is the offensive player of the month. Tattoo in front, blocked by Greg Willen. Willen draws the assignment of marking Tattoo right now. Tattoo takes it down into the right corner, shot blocked by Willen into the crowd. Sincere apologies, first of all, to all of you listening and watching this afternoon, but I can't hear anything in one headset. When I put on the microphone where I can hear Roy, then my microphone doesn't work and I can't speak. So, Roy, I'll have to ask you to bear with me and ask everyone else to bear with me as well while we get this fixed.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll just comment on the game as it goes on, and please understand what is going on right now. As Tattoo He's on the field right now. Tom Sohn at the top of your screen, you can see he's been given the responsibility to mark this great player. And there's David Bernardi Chapman in front of the kicker. And early pressure from Dallas with a quick kick deep in the corner.
Chinapoo takes the ball in the restart for Dallas to Steve Kinsey. Wes McLeod and Kevin Smith play the ball behind the red line. They dump it into Tattoo. David Byrne who's been such a strong addition for the Wings defensively and offensively, and Tattoo is fouling Terry Rowe. The Wings want to restart. Rowe starts it from too far up the field. Esse Baharmas, the referee, will blow it back, and the Wichita Wings will take it at their own red line.
Tattoo appealing that Terry Rowe wanted his shirt by pulling it off him, so he in turn pulled Terry Rowe's shirt. But, you know, Terry certainly doesn't want his shirt. He wants to keep it on him all night because, as viewers probably know, whenever his shirt comes off, he scores a goal. So Terry Rowe certainly doesn't want his shirt, and that's what the referee saw, is that Wichita got the free kick.
Rowe for Chapman, banks it off the boards. Troy Snyder defensively gets back in time. Wes McLeod will play it up to midfield for the Sidekicks. Eloy Salgado. Kinsey, marked by Tom Sowen. Kinsey will bring it back to his own red line. It's McLeod who makes his living defensively. Already 110 blocks, only 3 away from his career high. Down into the right corner, Salgado tries to turn on Moreland. Plays it back to Wes McLeod. Dallas has it at midfield. Sidekicks in white, the Wings wearing orange. Kinsey in the left corner. Again, Dallas will set it on the red line. Snyder tries to get Salgado in the corner. The Wings double team. Moreland and Byrne, and it's David Byrne who takes it away. Kinsey gets it back for the Sidekicks. Richard Chinapoo, the third leading scorer on this Dallas team, directly behind Kevin Smith and light years behind Tattoo. Ball knocked back to midfield. Powers wants to set Kinsey again. Mike Powers over to Kevin Smith at the red line. 11:30 to go first quarter. No score. The Wings in Dallas. Tattoo's shot is blocked by Moreland.
This is the tough part of the game, especially when you played the night before. You're looking for oxygen, you're searching for it, and it doesn't come very easy in these first 5 minutes of the game.
Kinsey in the left corner. Back over the top to Mike Powers. Powers played 3 years in Wichita with the Wings. This is his 4th in Dallas. Tattoo dumped in the corner. They whistle a foul. Fox and Sowen were defending.
Tattoo may be small in size and in height, but he's such a strong player. It takes everything you've got to keep him off the ball.
Through the mouth of the goal. They can't get it past Fearon. Beto digs in the corner against Moreland. Turns him down the right side. Victor was the captain of the Dallas team that won the championship in 86-87. Takes it away. The ball still alive. Now out of play. Over the glass. Last touch by Dallas, and the Wings will kick it from their own third.
Good early pressure by Dallas as they're keeping Wichita in their own defensive third. Beto, by the way, the former LA player, number 25, he's the one that has been getting rave notices of late for his performances. He's come in and done an admirable job of replacing Mark Carman, who's better known for getting garbage goals, but you won't see many garbage goals from Beto, number 25. That's the one with the big toe that gets the ball into the net so many times just by toe poking it by the keeper. So far, though, Wichita have been successful in keeping them all out.
Doc Lawson and Troy Snyder, Mike Powers, 3 defenders. Terry Rowe dumps him at the red line. As Snyder goes down, Dallas will get it back.
Snyder and Rowe, the confrontation between those 2 players goes back many years to an exhibition game actually in Nashville when there was a tremendous battle, so to speak, with just 30 seconds left. Snyder had to go to the hospital, but I'm sure neither player ever forgets it. So whenever those guys get around each other, sparks do fly.
Speaking of sparks, the man who restarted for Dallas, number 22, Doc Lawson, had a real brawl with Ralph Black. Fans in Wichita on Thursday night saw Terry Rowe and Hector Marinero go at it. In case they're wondering, is Wichita the only city where that takes place? The answer is of course not, as there was a bench clearing brawl with only 4 seconds left in a Dallas-San Diego game here last month.
I'll tell you, if ever you get a chance, there's Lawson right there on the ball. Look at the bill. Look at those thighs. They're bigger than most people's waist. And very strong player. Ralph Black, a small guy. We found out what Lawson's all about in that little encounter with each other.
Doc Lawson at the halfway line. Rolls it to Beto. Terry Rowe digs against Beto. Beto tries to push it ahead. Snyder, and he's marked by Greg Willen. Again, Lawson will run it down. Lawson's played all 12 years in the MISL. The only man to do that. The Cincinnati Kids, his first team. Lawson, long distribution. He tried to get it to Tattoo. He's over the glass, out of play, and Greg Willen will dribble the ball back up along the glass. He'll take a restart for Wichita.
As you would imagine, 22 Lawson with a great build has got just a great shot. In fact, they've got a lot of good outside shooters, this Dallas Sidekicks team. So if they can't get the ball to Tattoo, they've got a few big shooters who can ping the ball from outside and give Ron Freeman and the Wichita goalkeeper a lot of trouble. So far, though, Wichita done a good job of restricting the space and the attack of the Dallas Sidekicks.
Fearon comes in 15-10 with a 4.06 goals against average. He's meeting Joe Papaleo tonight in goal, who hasn't had a whole lot of work. Papaleo 11-5, 3.50 goals against. Tell you how they've done against the respective teams in a minute. Irvine at the red line. Dale crosses with Mike Fox, a couple of Los Angeles kids. Over to Hunyak. Gorin comes to the red line for Wichita. Stripped away. Fox gets it to Irvine, right corner of the penalty area. Turns, blocked. Kevin Smith leaves it for Tattoo, tries to come out with it. The Wings get it back. They whistle a bump on Fox against Tattoo. They give the ball to the Sidekicks at the Dallas red line.
One of those bumps that wasn't necessary. Mike Tattoo had lost the ball completely, but Mike kind of made contact with Tattoo, and the referee saw it and gave them a free kick. Just a quick note, Goran Hunyak's done a great job in replacing Chico Borja. Chico is on the bench tonight, still got those problems with his ankles. Will come out should there be an emergency or should the team be a lift. But obviously he's missed. But Goran's made it a little bit more palatable as he's come up with some first-class performances last night and on Thursday night's game.
Smith over the glass and out of play. The Wings were restarted. Papaleo on the year against Wichita, 1-1, a 3.9 goals against. Ron Fearon's only played Dallas once, and despite having a 2.12 goals against average, he is 0-1 on the season.
Just a little note, if you hear music all the while, we're not in a disco, it just seems that they're intent on playing music constantly here at the Reunion Arena, and it can be a little bit, well, sometimes you're looking for people to start get up and dance when there's that much music around, but it goes off right now as Wichita start this game off once again.
Well, they don't need to play the music when these two teams get together. The action speaks for itself. The last 3 times they've played, a 6th attacker goal has tied it and sent it to overtime. So no matter what the score here, this is a game that you'll want to watch to its conclusion. As when these teams have played this year, it has been soccer at its finest. Exciting, hard played, great skill. There's one of the best. Tattoo into the Wichita end. Tattoo breaks the left corner of the penalty area. Pokes it down in front. Kinsey shot. No! Tattoo can't finish it as he stretches, but Byrne gets it back to Fearon.
Great move from Tattoo, getting away from Thompson and nearly creating the first goal of the night. Wonderful move by Tattoo. Going the other direction now.
Rowe takes the shot on the long pass from Solon. Dallas will get it back. Terry Rowe comes to midfield chasing Chinapoo. Moreland on Chinapoo. Chinapoo to the left corner. Richard Chinapoo scored the game winner in overtime the last time these teams played in Dallas. Can't keep it alive. Lawson will into the Wichita third on the left side. Lawson has Tattoo at the far post. Fearon comes out and kicks it all the way back into the Dallas end. And Lawson is gone for the 2 minutes as he collides with Fearon after Ron distributed the ball.
This could be very serious, folks. Ron is down, and he looks to be injured pretty bad. Lawson did him after the ball. He's going for 2 minutes. That's the good news. The bad news is we've only got one goalkeeper. Chris Pete's at home watching for the Wichita Wings, so great concern right now on the sidelines for Wichita. There you see Lawson going to the bench to sit out the next 2.
S.A. Baharmist has pulled the yellow card, indicating he feels he had flagrant intent when he ran into Ron Fearon. And we'd like to see if we get another angle. I realize it was away from the ball, but if we can see the collision as it happened, as Ron Fearon is down, and as Roy had mentioned a little bit earlier, the Wings did not dress a backup goalkeeper, as Chris Pete played last night in the win over St. Louis, and he's getting the day off.
Well, at least he's up, and we hope he's okay, and you know, this is early in the game. Just to mention about this time in the game, Dave, the guys played last night. This is running the feeling all the stiffness, the feeling all the old injuries. As the game goes on, you'll get rid of them. And Ron Fearon's just got a new one to contend with right now. He's a very angry goalkeeper. Talking to him about Doc Lawson there, talking to the official, what did you actually do to him? He's saying, referee's probably saying, I gave him a yellow card, I'll give him 2 minutes, just forget about it. But Ron's now got a new injury, actually a new bump to contend with, as last night's effort is still probably very much in the Wichita Wings' mind. But now they're going to get time to forget it, because they've got a power play, and we're going to see Chico Borja maybe on the field for the first time tonight.
Well, if I were Ron Fearon, I'm not sure I'd press the matter with Lawson, who got a red card. He's a martial artist for throwing a kung fu kick at Ralph Black and apparently making contact, although we weren't here to see the game, in an earlier San Diego-Dallas game. So the Wings go on the power play. They've struggled with this unit lately. Only 3 of their last 21 have gone in. Borja, Fox, and Irvine. David Byrne and Andy Chapman are down low. Irvine will roll it all the way back to Ron Fearon in the Wichita goal.
For those of you who don't know, we cannot refuse the power play. That's how inept our power plays looked of late. In fact, last night we got a goal scored against them when we had a power play. And Wichita, this is really a part of the game that needs a lot of work. Terry making changes, trying to inspire something new. And once again, he's done the same thing tonight. Chico appearing on the left-hand side for the first time as part of the 5.
It's Byrne back to Borja. Dallas will kill with Beto and Troy Snyder at the top. Wes McLeod, Mike Powers down low. They get it to Chapman in the right corner. Chapman takes a shot into the crowd. 7:25 to go in the first quarter. No score. The Wings power play. 0 for their last 5 games. The streak goes on. They're 0 for 2 against Dallas, although Dallas has not been a good penalty-killing team. They've been at the bottom of the league all season, killing only about 50% of the tries against them.
Yeah, you know, they've got this great work ethic and everything else, but with it, sometimes goes the skill level. To be successful at power plays, usually you have to have a great amount of skill, and maybe the balance is out when it comes to power play time. But it's frustrating when a foul that could have really hit Ronfield, and you need to punish your team right now. And Wichita have got 1 minute, 15 seconds left to try and do just that.
McLeod to Troy Snyder into the Wichita end. Wings get it to their goalkeeper, Fearon, who throws it to David Byrne. Byrne to the Dallas red line. Chico Borja sets up Irvine. Dale down off the boards for Byrne. His shot won't go. Chapman is there in front. Can't finish. Dallas dumps it to the red line where Chico Borja picks it up. Beto marks. Michael Fox to the red line. Back to Chico. Borja to Fox. Chips it over to the left side. Irvine will play the ball down. Send it back to Borja on top. Chico Borja wants to go to Irvine, tries to get it down low, takes a shot, blocked. Dale gets it back in the corner. Irvine leads the Wings in goals this season, 34. Only one player in the league has more, that's Tattoo. Fox, above the right corner of the penalty area, sets up Dale again. Irvine against Beto. Beto's been a great offensive player for Dallas, but last year when he played the Wings, his offense suffered as he had to mark Eric Rasmussen, Wichita's great scorer. Beto blocks Fox's try. Irvine gets it back. Only 5 seconds remain in the power play. Chapman up to Irvine at the red line. Dale gets it into Fox. Knocked away by Beto. Penalty over. Lawson is back on. Chapman hits Fox. Fox takes a long shot. Deflected and cleared by Beto. And Dallas has killed the penalty.
Wichita didn't score that time, Dave, but I thought it was a pretty good effort. They got some good shots off. Joe Papaleo did a good job in the Dallas goal, and both teams should be satisfied. Dallas, obviously, because of the defensive effort, but the Wings also because they made goal opportunities on that power play.
Tattoo, Ian Fairbrother soars and knocks it away from him. Fairbrother, Wichita's developmental player this year. Fairbrother takes Tattoo down as he tries to cross the Wichita red line. 5:42 to go in the first. No score from Dallas.
It seems sometimes when Tattoo has a man that's close to him and he can actually feel his body next to him, he uses that body to get around. There's no way you can go through Tattoo. It's too strong. And if he feels you close to him, he'll spin you, and that's just what he did that time to Ian Fairbrother. Fairbrother bringing him down to give the free kick away.
Tattoo tries to push it through, takes the shot, just missed wide to the right. His follow in front. He's got Kinsey to Smith. Save! And we have a timeout. 5:31 to go in the first. No score from Dallas. This is MISL Soccer.
At Skaggs Alpha Beta, we have trained specialists who actually go out into the fields to select our produce.
Well, there's another part of this store where another group of specialists have expert training and take that same kind of time to do their job. Would you care to venture a guess as to where that would be?
That's right. It's all here in our corner drugstore at Skaggs Alpha Beta. You know, it's the most complete drugstore in town. And our friendly pharmacists will be there with their professional advice to help you with all your health needs. They might even explain that old apple a day thing. What's that all about, anyway?
Changes begin with a need, a feeling there's somewhere you got to be going. You're loving the change when it makes you smile. Cherokee comfort, Cherokee style. Won't you let yourself grow? An American tradition. Let yourself grow. Cherokee way.
Dave, we're on the field again
Okay.
right now. The team's coming back to the corner kick. Tattoo has looked so sharp. It's just incredible. And he's the one who's caused these problems in his first couple of flurries. The result is this time, in Fairbrother put the ball over the glass. The ball's going to be kicked in from the side, but Tattoo's signal has given a note to Wichita. This is going to be my kind of night, and he's certainly looking sharp in the early stages. Wichita making changes right now, trying to get the right lineup to try and offset this corner kick, so to speak.
All right, the microphone is working again, so we'll restart it. As Roy, I think you've done a good job setting it up. Dallas with the ball to Fearon's left.
Easy to hear from you. Let's go. First quarter coming. Sidekicks. Corner kick.
Smith, who had 11 points, 10 assists against Wichita last year, can't get it through. Deflected off Chinapoo. The Wings get it back in their own third. 5:28 to go in the first. No score from Dallas. I'm Dave Phillips along with Roy Turner.
Some good defensive effort from Wichita right now as Victor blocked out set-up piece from Chinapoo's shot. And, you know, to be successful, you've got to be brave defensively. And so far, we've seen a lot of that from the Wings defenders as they're getting in front of Ron Fearon and keeping this score 0-0. 5:22, though, to go in this first quarter of action.
Ketter at the red line on the right boards. He came with David Byrne in the trade from Baltimore. Of course, it's been Byrne who's gotten all the attention in Wichita. Kenzie will set up Chinapoo on a run to the right. Into the Wichita third. Back to Steve Kenzie. And to Tattoo. He makes things happen. 93 points this year. He is simply running away with the league scoring race. And now they will whistle the timeout to fix the carpet in front of Wichita Wings head coach Terry Nickel. Felix Fuchsman draws carpet mending duty. You see Wichita Wings coach Terry Nickel behind him.
Terry, I'm sure, is glad because Tattoo had the ball. Now he doesn't, so there's going to be a free kick. But, you know, whenever the field comes up like that, you've got to stop the game. It's a danger to the players, so you can't afford to have any chance of any injury to these athletes.
Mike Powers behind the red line. They want to go to Tattoo in the left corner. Tommy Sowen, second-year player from Western Illinois, draws the assignment. Tattoo tries to push Tommy off. Sets up Powers at the red line. His shot hit the post. Fearon never saw it coming.
I honestly believe it was a pass to the middle, but whatever it was, it hit the post, and Ron Fearon was nearly caught unawares there. Mike Powers from Tattoo hitting the post for Dallas. Close call, Wichita.
4.5 to go in the first. Still no score. Snyder back to Pompaleo. Fires to midfield. Sowen takes it away from Tattoo. He comes down the left boards. Powers gets there first. The ball into the Wings bench. They'll give it to Dallas. This is the third consecutive game televised for the Sidekicks. The only one in that stretch at home. Dallas is in the middle of a 6 of 8 away stretch. 3 of the next 4 are also road games. Hasn't bothered them much, Roy, as they have climbed to the top of the Western standings and stayed there.
Well, last Wednesday night they went to Baltimore, got 3 goals behind in that unfriendly building, and yet came back and won it 4-3. A great compliment to Billy Phillips and his squad of players who never lose their composure, never lose their courage. Friday night then they go to Tacoma, tie the game with 18 seconds and win it in overtime. So if we're going to tell you this Dallas, don't ever count this Dallas team out. That's just proof in the pudding, and both their victories of late have come with comeback efforts.
Wes McLeod marked by Irvine. Troy Snyder at his own red line. Chico Marrera intercepts, and it is great to see number 2 back on the pitch for the Wichita Wings. He was last year's most valuable player in Wichita and went down with a knee injury. The sad thing was, Roy, it came in just the final seconds of a game December 10th against Kansas City.
Well, you're going to miss Chico Marrera. I don't care how long it is or for what reason he's not playing, but he's back on the field right now as Chico Borjas come in. Surprisingly, I think Terry's looking for a little bit more offense, and he put the 2 Chicos on the line, along with Mike Fox, Greg Willing, and Dale Irvine up front. Fox's restart, knocked away by Willie Milano, and a trip. Fox against Salgado. Dallas gets the ball at the halfway line. Inside 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Still no score. Final score from Cleveland. Kansas City goes in and beats the Crunch by a score of 6-2. It pushes Cleveland a full 6 games behind Wichita, but Kansas City is back to a 2-game advantage for second place. Yeah, it's a result we didn't need as we're still chasing them. And Kansas City have learned how to win on the road, something they didn't do early on. But I think in the last 2 or 3 outings they've been there, except for a defeat the other night in the rejuvenated San Diego. They lost that game, I believe, 7-1. But aside from that, this team is sharp right now. And I'm talking about the Comets, of course.
Kansas City has now won 10 of 12. Milano at the red line of Wichita. We'll give it to Doc Lawson. The Wings get it right back. Irvine holds at midfield. To Chico Borja to Michael Fox. Fox to Borja, left corner of the penalty area, tries to come back for Dale, steps it through in front. McLeod will just poke it away back to the red line. Willen chests it down on the glass, but Dallas again will roll it out. And Chico Morera back defensively for the Wings. Wichita picked him up 2 years ago. Irvine shot, score on the pass from Morera in his second year in Wichita, as we said, to Irvine, fourth-year player. The Wings go on top 1-0.
Great little ball from Chico Morera, tucked it in, and Dale Irvine's proven a point up front. He's holding defenders off him, and that time he held off Doc Lawson, as you're going to see right now. Watch the little ball from Chico Morera. He threads the needle through the white shirt, right into Dale Irvine, who turns Lawson, puts it through his legs and into the far corner. A great goal for Wichita, not just because of the score, but because of the timing in the game, because Dallas has kind of taken an awful lot of offense at the Wichita defense. They withstood the pressure, then came back themselves to get Dale on the score sheet from the fine assist from Chico Morera.
35th goal of the year for Irvine. Time of the goal, 12:05. Moreland will send it right back to midfield. Terry Rowe comes into Kevin Smith, takes it away at the Dallas red line. Tries to bang it off the board. Smith reads it well. Rowe will go back to Chapman. And he can't control it. It's over the glass and belongs to Dallas. Roy, the point you were making about Irvine, it's so nice to have a forward with some size.
It is. It's very important that every time you get the ball up there, you have somebody battling for you. And I don't mean this disrespectfully to any other forward we've got on the books, but sometimes you throw the ball up and they just get out-muscled. You ain't going to do that to Dale Irvine, because he just took on the biggest in the league, and Doc Lawson and turned him. So I'm sure it's a welcome part of an offense for Terry Nickel and the guys to have Dale playing up there and turning and spinning just as he did on that goal.
Dale Irvine has been red hot as a wing. He actually missed 3 games and most of a fourth against Kansas City with a back problem. It is still bothering him, but at least he can play now. In all of the other games in that stretch of 10, he's scored goals, including, of course, this one, as the Wings were up by 1. Tattoo at the red line to Smith. Dallas will play catch outside the red line until David Byrne pokes it away. Powers wants to set it into the left corner. David Byrne comes over, tries to get it back into his keeper, can't. Lawson and Byrne fight for it in the corner. Byrne wins the ball up to Andy Chapman at midfield. Chapman's played in more games in the Major Indoor Soccer League than anyone else in the league's 12-year history. Lawson back to the red line of Wichita, gets by Byrne, but Rowe's right there to take it away and get it back to David.
Good tackle from Terry Rowe.
Byrne tripped from behind by Tattoo. Foul on Dallas, and the Wings will have it in front of the Sidekicks bench.
Just a little stat with Dallas 6 shots, Wichita 6 shots. The big one, though, of course, that Wichita got the one that went into the net, that from being from Dale Irvine. Tactically, right now, Tattoo is being pushed further and further away from the goal, which means that's a good for Wichita, bad for Dallas. He can beat anybody, but when he's got further to go, once he's beaten them, less likelihood of a goal. So tactically, Wichita are ahead right now and trying to maintain Tattoo and the Dallas Sidekicks.
Dallas ball midfield. Chinapoo gets a step on Borja. Comes to the left corner of the penalty area. Tommy Sowen picks him up. Chinapoo shot blocked by Sowen into the crowd. Corner kick for Dallas. 1:04 to go in the quarter. The Sidekicks trying to tie. The Wings have been on top 3 goals and 2 goals in their last 2 times in this building, but lost both times in overtime. So 1 is not insurmountable for the Sidekicks. Don't go to sleep yet.
Well, that young man really doesn't give a hoot, but, you know, you really can't look. You can't have a coach go on a field, Dave, and say, well, let them go ahead, see if it's different this time. But we have got to be aware that Dallas can come back and do come back. And we're pleased that the Wings are 1 goal ahead, but far from, well, obviously, a long way to go in this contest. As Tattoo's come back on the floor right now, so the problems for Wichita continue.
Irvine and Fox form the wall in front. Tattoo sends one through the middle. The Wings will play it out. Chico Marrera up to the red line. Kevin Smith digs against him.
Oh, beautiful.
Marrera back deals it to Fox. Greg Willen, a left-footed player, down the left side. Comes to the left corner of the penalty area. Takes the right foot. Plays it in front. Borja not there. And Dallas brings it to midfield. Chinapoo wants to go to Tattoo. This time he gets Chico Marrera. Chinapoo dribbles one through. Kinsey and Fearon come out. Ron pokes the ball into the crowd. Give it to Dallas on the left boards with 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No, they're not going to give it to him on the boards. They'll put it up to the top of the arc.
Mr. Fluxman may have got his... There's Billy Phillips right now. He's got a set piece. He's trying to get people in to try and set it up. He's making gestures, and we're going to see the ball on the edge of the box. And Dallas have worked on this in practice, so let's see what they do, and let's see if Wichita can react to this free kick on the edge of the box.
Tattoo, of course, will take it. Sets the ball up for Chinapoo, blocked by Willen. Tattoo gets it back, pokes it down at the corner. McLeod can't get it by Fearon, and Ron will cover.
Good save from Ron, protecting any space in between him and the post. He's able to get his leg on it, and Wichita escape one as Dallas come close.
Borja, Terry Rowe gets it for the Wings. Tries to go long for Irvine. McLeod is right there. Dallas will play it back in to Joe Papaleo. McLeod, Lawson, Marrera, and it ends up on Ron Fearon's hip. And that's it. First quarter comes to an end. Our score, Wichita 1, Dallas nothing, and we'll be back. This is MISL Soccer.
She thinks I can't cook. Wait till she tastes this.
Can I help?
No, everything is under control. Oh, Peter Pan.
Something smells very good in there.
Only 780 of the finest freshly roasted peanuts in every jar.
I'm getting hungry.
Be patient. Ooh, eat some peanut butter anytime you can. Only if it's Peter Pan.
Last week, sneak preview audiences across America cheered Pretty Woman.
That movie was terrific. Oh, fantastic.
Very sexy. It's a hot movie. Pretty Woman is a sexy woman.
I'm in love with Julia Roberts. She's a babe.
Julia Roberts is probably the best-looking woman in movies today. She's beautiful.
Very sexy.
Stunning.
Richard Gere and Julia Roberts is great chemistry.
Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman. Rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Today, you want to eat right. Right. You want to eat light. Light. You want to eat smoked sausage. Smoked sausage?
Introducing new Eckrich Light Smoked Sausage with 25% less fat and calories than other leading brands. And it has the taste you can sink your teeth into. So try new Eckrich Light Smoked Sausage and all our new light meats.
I feel lighter already.
New Eckrich Light, the taste you can sink your teeth into.
Right.
American Credit says you can have power. Simply call this number and you've got gold card buying power. With American Credit, your credit history is just that. History. No credit check. Guaranteed approval. $800 line of credit. Shop from our catalog of over 6,500 brand name items. Why wait? Get what you want today. Call now and the first 20 callers will receive an $80 gift certificate absolutely free. You may also qualify for a secured major credit card. Ask us about it. Get credit power with American Credit. Call now.
Welcome back to Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. At the end of the first quarter, it's Wichita 1, Dallas nothing. Dale Irvine from Chico Marrera, the goal. Coming up in Wichita, April 8th, the Sunday afternoon game against Kansas City. Roy, it's Group Leader Day for the Wichita Wings. What does it mean when we ask someone to be a group leader and bring 10 friends to the game?
Well, what it means is that anybody out there, it doesn't matter who, if they sell 10 tickets, their name goes into a hat. They first of all will get an autographed pennant from the Wichita Wings just for selling 10 tickets, but then a drawing will be made at the 8th of April game, which will give the winner 2 free tickets to travel with the team to San Diego for our final road trip of the year, be a part of the club, so to speak, and we'll take care of almost all the, when I say almost, we'll take care of the air flight, we'll get you tickets for the game, and you'll be traveling with the club. So we're excited about it, and I hope you are. All you have to do is sell 10 tickets if you get 10 tickets and don't win the trip, you still get an autographed pennant. So remember, call the Wings office, Jim Carabin, 262-3545, and he'll tell you just what's going on. As Terry there on the bench right now is probably explaining the same thing to the players, telling them if you sell 10 tickets, you're definitely going to San Diego, guys, because, you know, he's the one who picked the team, and I'm sure they all like to go to that fine place.
50 tickets. If you bring a group of 50, you get a Wings jersey, and as you mentioned, for each 10, a chance to go on the trip. Pennant signed by the entire team, right?
That's it. We even get Dave Phillips on the pennant for you.
No, that cheapens the value. They've asked away from that one. All right, Wings lead by 1. Start of the second quarter. Willen tries to head it for Borja. Lawson is there to cut down the angle. Gets it back into Kevin Smith in the Dallas third.
One noticeable change for Wichita. Goran Hunyak has not been out in this for a long time, and Chico Boa has. So maybe Chico's told Terry, hey, I feel fine. So if that's the news, then it's always good news, especially when you've also got Goran Hunyak still ready to go back out there. So Wings fans, keep your eye on the two Chicos. They're on the line together right now. Number 6, of course, and Chico Moreira, number 2.
What's been wrong with Borja that's caused him to miss so much?
He's got both his ankles. It's a combination of, well, they're just very sensitive, some arthritis in them. He's been kicked a lot over the years, and it's just been very painful, and it seems the only thing that can get rid of them is rest. This time of the year, though, who can rest in the MISL?
Tattoo tries to go on Willen, can't, and Marrero will drop it into the Sidekicks third. Just underway in the second quarter, Wings lead on an Irvine goal, assist to Chico Moreira.
Kedda making there he is, just coming out there as Lawson plays it back to Papaleo, but Kedda coming on the field for the first time for Wichita, playing up front.
Barry Vanderbeck tries to get by Powers, can't. Mike Powers for Dallas in front to Kenzie. And back to Mike Powers. Vanderbeck a little slow getting up. They'll stop action. Let him take a look at him. Barry Vanderbeck played on the Dallas championship team, 86-87.
And we have a call on the bench right now, and I don't know quite what it is. There's a lot of gesturing. There's Tattoo saying, hey, what's the weather like outside, referee? But he's got hold of the ball. But there you see the Wings bench and Perry Vanderbeck, who got hurt on the play, going over. He seems to be okay. Mr. Felix Fuchsman, the referee, is explaining his decision. I'd love to tell you what's going on, folks, but I don't know, and nobody else does, including that other referee who's explaining to right now, as Mike Powers is going to take a free kick for... This really gives fuel to those people back home who say, what are the referees doing out there? But obviously they know, and we don't, as the ball is kicked in by Dallas from a side kick, from the Sidekicks power play position on the left-hand side of the field.
Either that or it gives fuel to the people who say, you and I don't know what we're doing here. As if they need more ammunition. 13:40 to go in the second quarter. Wings lead by 1. Here's Greg Willen, who walks it up the left side. Greg's got a lot of room in the middle. Can't get it to Chapman. The ball's loose. Greg picks it up. Tries to get it back to Andy. Sidekicks clear it to midfield. They're only playing defense with 4. Terry Rose shot into the crowd. And it's a goal kick for Joe Papaleo. They're leaving Tattoo back, Roy.
Yeah, Tattoo's getting a little frustrated too. He doesn't want to go too far away from the goal that I alluded to in the first quarter. Now he's cheating a little bit and staying up. Wichita, of course, are going to have to receive somebody right back there on him. But offensively, that means a little bit more space for Wichita. And for those of you who know anything about the game, that obviously is an advantage to the offense as opposed to the defense. Because defense eliminates space, offense makes space.
They say they're running out of shirts, jerseys for Tattoo. He takes them off and throws them to the crowd when he scores. He's done it 49 times this year. Last time we were here, they're streamlining it, which I think is unfair. He used to strip and throw the shirt, but he scored so many times this year, in an effort to save time, they just hand him one that's rolled up and he tosses it into the crowd. We'll see what he does today, or maybe we won't. Kevin Smith at the red line. It's the job of Greg Willen, and right now Tommy Sowen to make sure we don't.
Well, there's a foul there by Chinook pushing off after he didn't beat David Byrne, but he's a great player, and he does an awful lot for this league, including taking his shirt off. I'm sure it gets old for him sometimes, but he knows how much the crowd enjoy it in every stadium in the league, and he continues the tradition of taking his shirt off upon scoring a goal. You
would think that the other teams would get mad at him doing that, but I've never heard a defender complain.
Everybody wants one of those shirts, including some of the defenders sometimes. They like to just rip it off him instead of just him taking it off. But as I said earlier, he's great for the MISL and especially great for this Dallas Sidekicks.
Yeah, Roy, as we watch Tommy Sowen mark Tattoo, Terry Rowe is one of the best defensive players in this league, yet he's playing up front while Sowen draws Tattoo. Can I ask you to analyze that? Well, we'll get back as Kevin Smith will lead a 2-on-1. He's in the middle, gets Tattoo, back in front. Smith, Sowen knocks it away. Maybe that's why he's got Tommy Sowen back, as Sowen snuffs out the 2 and potentially 3-on-1, and here comes Marrera the other way. Chico has Irvine on a run through the middle. Marrera comes back and leaves it for Fox, who blasts a shot blocked by Mike Powers. Powers gets it to Tattoo. Snyder's on a run if Tattoo can get it through to him. Fox comes in, can't knock it off Tattoo, sets up Kinsey. Oh, Kinsey steps it through and hit the crossbar. Bounces into the crowd, a goal kick for Fearon.
Action both ends, but there's Steve Kinsey who did a nice fake. Actually, I thought he lost control of the ball, but anyway, he got a free shot at goal and put it over. But Wichita caught with a tremendous change on the first time, and Dallas got given a 3-on-1 opportunity, didn't put it away. Wichita went the other way, and again, Dallas broke on them, this time with a 2-on-1 situation. Eventually, Wichita came through, but it was more by good luck than good defense, and Dallas unable to take advantage of 2 good fast break situations.
Chico Marrera rolls back into Ron Fearon. For those of you in Dallas, Ron Fearon is an incredible story. This is his first year in the MISL, first time he's ever played indoors. His first month in the league, he was the league's Defensive Player of the Month. First goalkeeper since 1980 to be an All-Star in his first season in the league. Fox called for the foul at midfield. The ball belongs to Dallas. Doc Lawson in front of the Dallas bench. Lawson rolls for Salgado against Marrera. Salgado goes down the right corner. Marrera gets it away, plays it into Ron.
Salgado, a great story of its own right here in Dallas. He's a 19-year-old high school boy from Louisville, just outside of Dallas here, Louisville rather, and he's really done a great job for them. A player to be sure to be reckoned with in the future of the MISL and the Dallas Sidekicks.
Willen can't get it by Papaleo. Papaleo catches it off the board, and again will hand it to his defender. 10:50 to go, second quarter. Wings lead 1-0. Salgado comes back to Doc Lawson. He's at the red line of Wichita. Knocked away by Willen. Willen and Lawson fight, and Greg will dump it into the Dallas third.
Every time Lawson gets the ball, he's looking to wind up that booming shot of his from afar. That time Greg Willen put him off that very task, but he made a fine tackle to stop it.
McLeod for Dallas. Wants to go to Tattoo. Willen intercepts the passing lane, gets it to Irvine, but Dallas is back defensively. Now Beto will try to go long for Tattoo. Willen again knocks it away. This time they say Greg wrapped his arms around him to knock it away. Foul on Greg. Willen says, I think Tattoo's doing a little bit of that too. McLeod dumps into the left corner. Willen again against Tattoo. Whistling on Tattoo this time for the push, and Greg's plea did not fall on deaf ears.
Yeah, Tattoo knows he knows how to play this game, including the referees. And that time he got caught for pushing a little bit up on Greg, but Tattoo is no angel out there, and he can certainly dish it out as much as he can receive it.
Fearon long for Chapman. Papaleo comes out and pokes the ball back to midfield. Beto against Ian Fairbrother. Beto gets by him. Beto above the right corner has Tattoo at the post. Sowen again will knock it away. Goran Hunyak steps it across the red line for Wichita to Chapman in front of the Wings bench. Rowe goes to Ian Fairbrother, back to Terry. He'll chase it down in front of his own goal. Ron Fearon cannot use his hands in this situation. Has to poke it back on the legs to Rowe coming up the left boards.
Number 22, Ian Fairbrother out for Wichita right now. A development player for the squad. Hails from England, been in Wichita now for a couple of years. Finally given his chance this year. Looked a little bit nervous on that last play, but so far he's done very well for Wichita. In fact, he scored a super goal from the last Thursday night's game against Cleveland.
Tied the game. Oh! Although the Wings ended up losing in overtime. Shenapu gives a real whack to Hunyak, and Goran didn't appreciate that. Just a foul, however. The Wings get it back at midfield. Sorry?
Hunyak looks so good on the ball. He looks like he can go by people real easy, and Shenapu eventually got frustrated and kicked him, but much more for Goran Hunyak, number 21 for the Wings tonight.
Lawson tries to come through against Borja. Sowen knocks it away back to Andy. 2-on-1 if the Wings hurry. It's Chapman and Borja. Oh, it's too far in front. Snyder will get it back for the Sidekicks. Tattoo and Fearon in a foot race. Ron clears it. all the way into the crowd above the Dallas bench. 8:36 to go in the second. 1-0 Wings. Dallas ball.
Great play that time by Ron Fearon, and Wichita are kind of they put the line on, they're putting the bodies on the line, so to be, to defend well against the Dallas side.
No one has ever beaten San Diego 6 times in a row. Whoops, wait a minute. The Wings have now done it. The only team in the history of the league. It's been over a year since the defending champion Sockers have beaten Wichita. You'll get to see them Saturday night in the Kansas Coliseum. The Wings go for an improbable 7 in a row. Snyder into the Wichita end. Sets up Tattoo on the left side, steps through, right-footed shot, blocked by Sowen. Tommy rolls it ahead to Perry Vanderbeck. Vanderbeck can't get it to Irvine. Dallas gets it back at midfield.
I can't say enough about Tom Sowen and his defensive block, and everyone's going on goal, believe me, and he gets his legs or his body or his head, doesn't matter what, he blocks the shot. Number 10 for Wichita, Tom Sowen, doing a great job of shutting down Tattoo's chance of a goal there.
Tommy Sowen tries to roll it up to Victor Moreland. Moreland can't control. Tattoo in the right corner. Back to Powers. Mike Powers to Richard Chinapoo. Here's Kinsey. Some room on the left side. Gets by Vanderbeck. Shot saved by Fearon, who held his post. Warhawk can't get by Chinapoo, and Dallas will bring it down the left corner again. Kinsey off the boards. Rolls it in front. No. Moreland blocked. Victor goes hard into Chinapoo in the boards. Foul on Wichita. Dallas ball. Richard Chinapoo. Warhawk pulls it down. They rule a foul on
regular
Chico.
foul. The referees are right there on the spot. Chico actually made contact with the ball, but the referee said you tackle from behind. Chico in a bit of pain at the top of his screen. Chinapoo with the free kick.
They get it down to the right corner, but Bruno Ferretti, Brazilian player in his second year, can't get the ball past Fearon. Irvine rolls back to Ron. Fearon chips one to midfield. Byrne is fouled by Mike Powers. And the Wings will restart it.
Just a quick note, Chico's not only got a problem with his ankles, but both wrists are giving him a problem, and that's what he was going off the field holding his wrist that time. We hope he can come back, as Chico looks a little bit like him old self, a lot of spark, a lot of fire.
Tattoo at midfield, Greg Willen marks. Back to Lawson, Doc Lawson. Will walk it toward the red line. Dale Irvine will pick him up. He gets the ball through to Smith, left corner of the penalty area. It's up to Morera now. Chico will play him back to midfield. Whistle stops action. They say Chico riding Kevin Smith up on his hip.
Actually, they said he kicked him after the ball had gone, and Chico didn't complain, but once again, we try to control that complaining so you wouldn't know whether he wanted to or not, because that's a no-no right now in the wing setup.
Tattoo restarts for Beto. He's got some great ball skills, tries to juggle it, can't get a shot off. Over to Lawson. Doc Lawson stands on the boards, Irvine and Fox. Now all the way back to the left boards, Kevin Smith against Byrne. Wichita fans are used to David Byrne buzzing in, intercepting balls at midfield. Lawson has Fox knock it away, and again Dallas retreats. 6:25 to go in the half, 1-0, Wichita on top.
Wichita defending very honestly right now. They're all taking their own roles, doing whatever is necessary to stop Dallas from going and tying this game up.
Doc Lawson against Irvine. Fox gets it away. Michael Fox has 3 white shirts back for Dallas. No secret to see why Dallas is a success. Now they leave Ketter open. He comes into the left corner, pokes it by Papaleo. Nobody there to finish. Just going to say they always have 3 people back, and then Ketter snuck behind him.
Ketter came off the bench for Dale Irvine, snuck around the back and did well to put a good feed in the front of the goal, but everybody else was still defending back there, not able to take advantage of Ketter's great run from the bench for Wichita.
Chinapoo at the red line. Mike Fox has him. They get it to Smith. And now Ferretti tries to roll it in front. Willen takes it away. Never got to Tattoo. Terry Rowe up the left boards. Rowe has good skill on the boards, but nothing's going to help him there when the carpet comes up and they both get pulled down.
Referees said that the Chinapoo was the one who brought him down, but I'm sure the carpet had something to do with it. Terry getting up slowly, I'm sure. He's going to be okay. Referees calling a timeout to get somebody to look at this carpet, make sure it stays down permanently.
Timeout, 5:20 left to go in the half. The score, Wichita 1, Dallas nothing. This is MISL Soccer.
I'm in love.
Who now?
That goddess on the raft.
Out of your league.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Watch and learn.
May I have a towel? Richard?
Never underestimate the doctor. Hi, excuse me. Are you French? You look French. I love French food.
This is our third day in Kansas. Flat, isn't it? Wheat as far as the eye can see. Oh, here's that truck stop where we all got sick. We'll never eat there again, will we? Although they did have wonderful rice pudding. More wheat. Corn, I think. Oh,
if you want to experience some really great vacations, read Travel in the Sunday Dallas Morning News.
more wheat.
There's 5:20 left to go in the first half. Wichita 1 and Dallas nothing. Dave Phillips along with Roy Turner, familiar in both Dallas as a player and Wichita as coach and administrator. Roy, the Wings have rolled up their shirt sleeves on tattoo tonight.
Yeah, I think they're, I think both teams are playing well, Dave. I don't think it's a bad play. It's a little defensive maybe, but that's what a coach wants to see, and that's what you have to do on the road. And I think Dallas having a hard time getting by this Wichita defense as everybody's taking their job very seriously and keeping out the sidekicks.
Lawson in midfield. Do you beat Dallas that way, or is it easier to outscore them? Tattoo tries to come through, knocks straight up in the air. Kenzie will play it back down at midfield, and again, he'll be forced to retreat.
I believe that you're playing into the weakness right now, which is everybody coming forward for him. What Dallas do well, better than anybody, is defend. If you can keep them coming at you, then they're going with, it's not a weakness, you've always got Tattoo, but if you go at Dallas, they're very hard to break down, very hard to penetrate, and therefore you could get frustrated, leave the back door open. We're not doing that so far. We're closing down, keeping low pressure, keeping them from scoring a goal, and creating some of our own problems for them, perhaps breaking the other way.
Tommy Sowen up to midfield to Hunyak. Tom Sowen lofts it for Ketter. Ferretti will get there first. Heads the ball under the glass to the left of goal. And back to midfield where Terry Rowe will chest it down. Over to Goran Hunyak. He's got some offensive skills. Comes back to the right corner of the penalty area. Steps it through. Shot blocked, though. Rowe will get one to put on goal in front for Ketter. Deflects it just wide to the left. That's where most of Ketter's points have come this year, Roy. Right in front, deflecting toward an empty net. Ferretti up to Tattoo. And over to Lawson, who'll work against Sowen. Tom Sowen blocks it back to midfield. Doc Lawson again down the left boards. Ketter on him. Lawson shot just missed wide to the left. Goran Hunyak will pull it down. Up the right boards, plays the ball for Rowe. He's in traffic. Dumps into the Dallas end. Chapman may run under it. Chinapoo's got an angle on him. Chapman tries to get through. Chinapoo wins the ball. They say Andy's holding. They give the ball back to Dallas in the Sidekicks third with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Wings still lead by 1. Foul again. Give it to Dallas at midfield. Tattoo against Greg Willen.
It'd be very interesting to see how many times Tattoo actually gets fouled in each and every game, because every time there's a foul, it seems like he's the man who's just been penalized.
Beto gets a step. Vanderbeck called for the trip. Perry Vanderbeck, one of 3 wings who played on Dallas's 86-87 championship team. Dallas calls timeout. 3:42 left to go in the half.
Perry Vanderbeck, Dave, came via the Tampa route. There used to be a great team in soccer called the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tattoo was there. Vanderbeck was there. Wes McLeod was there. A lot of great players came right here, and the man who brought them, we're going to have a little talk to at halftime. He now runs his franchise. His name's Gordon Jago. He was the coach in them days. And so you've got a lot of those former players of his who he brought to Dallas and now have made this team a great team, just as the Rowdies were back then with Vanderbeck and the likes.
What's Terry Nickel telling the boys right now?
He's looking over the clock at 3:40 to go. They've got to keep defending, but please don't be afraid to attack. You just can't stay back there. In other words, they've got to respect us breaking out just a little bit. And if they don't, then you're going to be in real trouble. We're breaking out, we're picking our time, we're picking our moments, and I'm pleased to say that we look like we can score goals the other way. But you can't just stay back all night and defend. You've got to break now and again.
but you've still got to defend with a 100% effort from each and every player, and Terry will be reminded of that very thing at this particular time of the game.
It'll be Rowe and Moreland, Byrne, Michael Fox for Wichita, and Tom Sowen. Dallas still huddled around Billy Phillips. A lot of similarities, Roy, I think, between Billy Phillips, the Dallas coach that you see in the white coat, and Terry Niccolo, the Wichita Wings, in that both of them were extremely popular in the community, worked hard, did a lot of the appearances at the schools, and have progressed, now are popular as head coaches.
Soccer is at the stage right now in this country where you've got to have coaches as well as PR people, and both are very, very good at that particular subject.
We'll tell you more about the group leaders in a moment, but Tattoo leaves it for Chenapu. Into the right corner, Chenapu sets it in front. Tattoo's shot is blocked. Powers cranks one into the crowd, and it's a goal kick for Ron Fearon in the Wings. Group leader day, Roy, again. If you bring a group of 10 to the game, either sell the tickets, buy the tickets, it doesn't matter. You get a pennant signed by the whole team and a chance to go to San Diego. You mean I actually get to travel with the team?
Yep, you go 2 people. If your hat comes out the hopper, so to speak, you're on your way with the guys on the last road trip of the year, which will probably be big games at that time, Dave.
No
but
kidding.
You just sell 10, you get an autographed team pennant anyway. Team jersey, I believe, for around about 25. Well, Dave's signaling to me right now, 20 tickets. You get a team jersey, autographed once more, and the big prize, of course, a trip to San Diego. So go out, sell tickets. Just call Jim Carabin at 262-3545. Be a part of this contest, and also just if you don't know the guys, if you haven't traveled with them, this is when you will really fall for this team. They're a great group of people, and you learn a lot more about them by traveling with them to San Diego on the last road trip of the year.
Beto has it taken away by David Byrne. Mike Fox gets it back to Victor Moreland. Up to Fox. And before we give away the whole storeroom of jerseys, I think they have to sell 50. Because
Okay.
I think. We'll check. You can call and check at the Wings office. But I'd hate to go back and have our equipment manager go crazy because all the shirts were gone early. But we do know it's 10, and you got a chance for a trip to San Diego. Kevin Smith to the red line. Dumps it to the right corner. There's Tattoo. Soen knocks it away. Chico Moreira comes out. Dallas again has the numbers back as it's 1-on-4, and so Moreira will drop it back to David Byrne.
Smart play by Chico Moreira. He looked up, there's 4 white shirts converging on him. He just put it back, get possession of this ball, and let the Wichita Wings regroup. Dallas have picked it up at pace, though, put it into another gear as they try to tie this game, Dave, as they both go in the locker room in about 2 minutes, and they'd certainly like to go in even as opposed to being 1 down as they are right now.
Has Dallas been the aggressor most of this game?
I think so, but I think it's also the Wings. I've got a system that Terry put in place before the game, and it's working for them. They're doing very well. There's a little frustration on the Dallas team, but they are a great side as their 25-15 record would attest. And so Wichita will be pleased, and I'm sure Dallas won't be too worried if they do go into the locker room 1 goal behind, because they've just got plenty of time left, of course, in the second half.
Ron Fearon walks it across the red line. He's not pressured. He'll just wait. Now dumps for Chapman. He's double-teamed. Dallas will get it away. Lawson on his own right boards. Vanderbeck knocks it back in front. Salgado's there ahead of Irvine. And Lawson rolls into Joe Papaleo. Papaleo played at Syracuse University in '82. He was Soccer America's goalkeeper of the year. Powers wants to go long for Salgado. Willen knocks the ball down. Dale Irvine gets it back to midfield. He's whacked. Mike Fox played in '81 in the Sports Festival that was in Syracuse. He says, what a great time for Joe Papaleo in that Sports Festival. Not only did he stop the penalty kicks when they determined who won, but for the East team, he actually scored on the penalty kick that won it in his hometown to be the hero there, Joe Papaleo.
Yeah, Joe Papaleo came to Dallas from the Tacoma Stars, where he was also a star, of course, in his own right. And previously he was at Pittsburgh, where he played with Chris Sobieski, who he's now renewed that acquaintance with right here in Dallas, as they're both the goalkeepers for the Sidekicks. That's Sobieski and Papaleo together again, just as they were in Pittsburgh just about 5 years ago.
Were they the first, Dallas, to get 2 high-salaried goalkeepers on one team? Moreira into the right corner. Gets alive from Ferretti. Can't get the shot in front. Moreira will get it right back, though, in midfield, and gets it back to Willen.
You know, I'd like to see somebody give a comment and watch number 2 for the Wings say, that guy's just come off a knee problem that's kept him out of this game for a couple of months. He looks like a spring chicken out there, and he's nearly caused another goal with his offensive thrust as he went down the field that time.
You know, for Tattoo, his rehabilitation after the knee took a year, and a lot of people watching him last year thought
that was real major surgery, though, Dave. I mean, he had the cruciate ligaments, and, you know, just to play again is something special, but to play at the standard that Tattoo's playing right now is absolutely remarkable.
He seems to have recovered pretty well this season. He fights with Willen in the left corner of the penalty area. Fox intercepts, gets by Kinsey. Mike Fox to Chapman at midfield. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Wings dumping into the Dallas end. Papaleo with an easy catch. Will throw it back to his defender, Mike Powers.
Chapman was putting that ball a length of the field, mainly just so he could get off and somebody on him, so we could get regrouped. And that's just what they did to set up this offensive thrust. Greg Willen.
Back to Terry Rowe with 20 seconds left to go in the half. Powers back to midfield. Greg Willen. Willen tied up on the boards. Double team. Tries to get it through. Chenapu has it. Dallas ball at the red line. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Beto to Smith. Leaves it for Chenapu. Blocked by Moreland. Into the crowd. 3 seconds to go. Dallas will get a restart.
And I guarantee you they'll pull the keeper. And Smith is going to go and put the jersey on right now. There's only 3 seconds to go in the clock. They've got a ball coming in from the sideline. So by the time the Wichita Wings clear it, if they do clear it, then the ball hasn't got time to reach the other end anyway. So here we go. 6th attacker. 3 seconds to go in the half. Smith is the designated goalkeeper for the Sidekicks. He's the one going to be over the ball, Dave.
Do they go to Tattoo right here?
They're just looking for one person to get a shot off and looking for something good to happen in front of the goal. Rebounds or anything else. But I don't think they're going to be able to find Tattoo, but let's wait and see.
Smith stands over the ball. He'll leave it for Chenapu. Vanderbeck blocks it. Powers gets a shot. The Wings block it again. And at the end of the first half, the Wings have successfully completed their mission of the first half, and that is to take a lead into the locker room. 1-0, Wichita leads Dallas, and we'll be back after this timeout. This is MISL Soccer.
Yeezys by Hager, your next favorite pair of pants.
Every seat is a great seat at the Ultimate Sports Grill, where you'll find more sports on more screens than anywhere else. The Ultimate Sports Grill offers you the ultimate in sports entertainment, with 3 satellite dishes showing all of your favorite sports. If you don't see it here, you won't see it anywhere. For exciting sports, delicious food, and good fun, it's the Ultimate Sports Grill. Open 7 days a week. The Ultimate Sports Grill is located at 16101 Addison Road at Keller Springs in Addison. More sports and only sports, the Ultimate Sports Grill.
At Skaggs Alpha Beta, we have trained specialists who actually go out into the fields to select our produce.
Well, there's another part of this store where another group of specialists have expert training and take that same kind of time to do their job. Would you care to venture a guess as to where that would be?
That's right. It's all here in our corner drugstore at Skaggs Alpha Beta. You know, it's the most complete drugstore in town. And our friendly pharmacists will be there with their professional advice to help you with all your health needs. They might even explain that old apple a day thing. What's that all about, anyway?
Where am I going?
Welcome back to Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Wings 1, Dallas 0. At the half, I'm Dave Phillips along with Roy Turner. Down on the field, we're joined by the head coach of the Wichita Wings, Terry Nickel, who brings his team in after beating St. Louis last night. The final score was 3-2. The Wings had lost on Thursday 7-6 in overtime. One of the things that Terry Nickel had stressed going in was defense. It worked last night. And as we swing it down to Terry and visit with him right now, I guess that's the question to ask you. The defense has obviously worked in the first half against Dallas, but boy, it sure looks like it's hard work for those guys.
Yes, it is. Solid defense is never an easy street. It means a lot of covering, a lot of extra work, and we've done it very nicely in the first half. If we stop that at all, then Dallas will punish us. So we must maintain at least the same kind of intensity, at least the same kind of one-on-one abilities that we've shown in the first half.
And Terry, I guess that you don't have any chance to let up against a team like Dallas, do you?
No, you don't, and we don't have a chance to let up with even 6 seconds to go because they've punished us with that amount of time left. So it's going to be a long road, but all I'm saying is take one shift at a time, make sure that you do that job one shift. If you take that shift and make sure that you don't make mistakes, that you're up stopping them, making life difficult for them, then we'll take 1 quarter at a time, and then if you take each shift at a time, and then we'll finish out strong. I'm going to use, I've been using a 3 rotation with Chico Moreri and Fairbrother slotting in, and I think we're trying to save our legs as much as possible.
Terry, let me ask you one more question. We'll let you go. We saw a lot of Chico Borja early, not so much toward the end of the half. Is he hurt?
He's not 100%. He's got very sore ankles, and he damaged. He's got a sore wrist, and he fell on that and crunched it against the boards, and he's not feeling very well, the lad, but he wants to play, and you'll see him in the second half unless I get a very negative report now.
All right, Terry, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Wings head coach Terry Nickel. Score at halftime, Wichita 1 and the Dallas Sidekicks nothing. And Roy and I will return to Dallas after this timeout. This is MISL Soccer.
Considering a lifelong relationship? Then consider this. How good is the family name? Do you see those qualities you really admire? Is there a strong mutual attraction? Will you get the kind of support you need? And will you be able to live comfortably within your means? You can during McConnell's Thomasville Gallery Sale, where beautiful Thomasville furniture is on sale this week at incredible prices. It could be the start of a beautiful relationship. On sale now at McConnell's Thomasville Gallery.
Hey, I have to get ready for the party too, you know.
I don't know if I'm going.
Is something wrong?
I'm kind of sick.
Diarrhea?
Mm-hmm.
I know what you need. It's in the medicine cabinet.
Pepto.
Here it comes. The soothing relief of Pepto-Bismol. The one that coats is the only one you need.
Feeling better?
Let's party.
If you're in the market for a pickup truck, friends, the time is now, the place, Redbird Dodge, because we've specially priced every remaining 1989 model Dodge pickup truck at $2,000 below factory invoice. Just imagine how low your monthly payments will be when you buy a Redbird Dodge pickup truck for $2,000 below factory invoice. Or if you prefer, take this 1990 Dodge Dakota Club Cab home today for our guaranteed best price of only $89.88.
Redbird Chrysler Dodge. Dodge Trucks, 4201 Camp Wisdom Road.
After nearly 30 years, we at the International House of Pancakes concede there's more to life than pancakes.
So IHOP's featuring chicken fried steak breakfast, lunches, and dinners with all the trimmings.
We still sell pancakes? Of course, we're the International House of Pancakes, aren't we?
Woo, that was close.
Is that a new syrup you're wearing?
Chicken fried steak for breakfast and lunch, just $3.99. Chicken fried steak for dinner, just $4.49.
This fascinating video on psychic powers can be yours free. I'll be back to tell you how.
I would never have believed it until one night I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning. I felt something cold against my shoulder. It was the ceiling. I was looking down at my own body.
I was thinking of my childhood friend the other day. I hadn't thought of her for years. Then all of a sudden the phone rings, and it's her. You tell me that's coincidence?
There's a word for it, the paranormal, and it's one of the biggest issues of our age. Now, Time Life Books brings you Mysteries of the Unknown that looks into every area, from ESP to precognition to alien encounters, to give you all the sides.
I'm a scientist. I'm willing to be open-minded.
But in my profession, we live by positive proof.
My daughter didn't want to get on that school bus. I didn't know why, but something told me to take her seriously. I'm glad I did.
Even if just some of these things are real, do you know what that would mean?
Here in one place are the newly researched facts, first-person reports, and scientific experiments, so you can decide for yourself. There are so many hints of a world more remarkable than we ever imagined. If you've ever wondered about the unknown, examine your first volume for 10 days free and take a serious look at a world that can no longer be ignored.
I never thought I would believe in it until it happened to me.
Call now for your free examination of Mystic Places. If you decide to keep it, pages $12.99. You'll then receive this video on psychic powers free. It's an incredible journey into the extraordinary powers of the mind. Future volumes will follow about every other month with the same free examination. Buy only the ones you want. Cancel anytime. A free examination and a free video. We're ready to take your call.
Welcome to Hill House.
This is a house of extraordinary evil.
The dead are not quiet in Hill House.
But is the evil imaginary? Or is it real?
Exactly what do you and your assistants expect to find at Hill House?
The key to another world?
The Haunting. Thursday's killer thriller on Channel 27, your movie station.
These days, a lot of drug deals take place in locker rooms. Unfortunately, a lot of these drug deals end up in a different kind of locker room. If you or someone you know has a drug problem, contact Habilitat. We can help.
You were right, Vince.
Say what?
When you hit a wall going 50 and you're not wearing a safety belt, your head will fit in the glove box.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
If turning on your old TV is turning you off, come to Rent-A-Center's There's No TV Like a New TV sale, featuring a huge selection of the newest TVs, like a Magnavox 25-inch picture-in-picture stereo TV, just $19.99 a week, a Toshiba 20-inch stereo TV, just $11.99 a week, and lots more. So before turning on your old TV turns ugly, come to Rent-A-Center's There's No TV Like a New TV sale.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Powers. These dogs are not waiting to be adopted by a caring family. They're about to be used in laboratory tests that can inflict tremendous suffering and agonizing death. I'm not talking about medical testing to find a cure for a disease. I'm talking about animal testing conducted for consumer products. Animals are burned, shocked, starved, and poisoned to test everything from household cleaners to cosmetics. Did you know that if your dog or cat were lost and taken to a pound, they could be sold to be used in these torturous tests? It's just not right. By calling this 900 number right now, your name will be added to 535 telegrams that will be delivered to every congressman and U.S. senator demanding that they pass a currently proposed law that limits animal testing for non-essential, non-medical products. Please help us.
Call 1-900-386-8600 now.
Halftime score, Wichita 1 and the Dallas Sidekicks nothing. I'm Dave Phillips along with Roy Turner, player with the Dallas Tornado, and of course, coach for 7 years, 7 playoff seasons in Wichita, and now the team's president. Everyone we see here says hello to you, Roy.
Yeah, I know, it's real difficult, Dave, because I haven't seen some of these people in 15 or 20 years, and, you know, I just have to hi, say hi back in my best English voice so they can't understand what I'm saying, so I'm trying to say their name. But it's always nice to come back, but Wichita's my home, and I'm sure a lot of these people in Dallas should come up and just see what it's like in a great city like ours.
All right, only one goal in the first half. It came 12:05 into the first quarter. Chico Moreira back onto the pitch for only the second time since December 10th and his knee injury to Dale Irvine, the Wings' leading goal scorer. It was his 35th goal of the season, Roy.
Well, this is what you call a target man. Chico Moreira picks it up. There he is. He threads the needle then through two white shirts. Chico Borja kind of lets it go. Dale Irvine turns Doc Lawson the wrong way and drives it by Joe Papaleo to the far coast. Great turn from Dale Irvine. We alluded to earlier how much his strength has meant for Wichita up front, and you saw the reason why right there. As he holds off Doc Lawson to spin and score from a great assist from Chico Moreira, who has only just come back into the team last night. Let's just watch it again, Dave. There you're going to go. The ball's cleared, but Chico Moreira picks it up immediately. He sees, you know, this is what makes this guy great. He's already got something in his mind. He plays it through the white shirts to Dale, who spins well and puts it into the corner to put the Wings ahead on the only goal of the first half.
Dallas has considerably outshot the Wichita Wings, and that's certainly the game we've been watching.
Yeah, and I think there's a big, big thing there in regard to the tactics of both teams. Wichita have invited those shots, but have been equal to the task of keeping them out the net. So while the pressure has been on the Wichita team defensively, and Dallas has certainly looked lively up front, the final score at the when both teams are in the locker room right now is 1-0, and a big stat, Dave, I think, is that blocks on the left and right. I guarantee you Tommy Sohn's got about 8 or 10 of them. He's just done a remarkable job in getting in front of a mostly tattoo shot as he tries in vain to get Dallas back on the score sheet to tie this one up.
Yeah, Tommy had 6 blocks against Cleveland Thursday, one short of a club record that you would think he might get tonight. Halftime score, Wichita 1 and Dallas nothing. This is MISL Soccer.
This is me, Renee Griffith, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now.
You already know Nutrisystem works. Now a national survey proves Nutrisystem clients lose more weight than dieters on other weight loss programs. More clients also rated Nutrisystem personalized, effective, and easy to follow. You get results with Nutrisystem. Now the best program at the best price.
Now lose all the weight you can at Nutrisystem for only $89. Don't wait, call now.
All this week on Win, Lose, or Draw, Richard Simmons is on the loose. He's got Doug Barr worked into a drawing frenzy.
Just like that.
Audrey Landers shaped into a sketching sensation.
That's quite intriguing.
And Louise Duarte driving everyone to the brink.
Richard, I want you to stretch. I want you to hurt.
It's an exercise in excitement you're sure to enjoy.
I can feel it.
All this week on Win, Lose, or Draw.
This week at 5:30 here on Channel 27.
6 of their last 7 home games have been victories. The one loss, 7-6 in overtime. It's been fun to watch that team play in the Kansas Coliseum.
Yeah, it wasn't much fun the other night against Cleveland, but just put it down in your calendar, gang. Cleveland have got to come in our building, I believe, on April the 8th or somewhere around there. Let's remember what happened last Thursday night and just save it all for that. But at home, I think we've done real well, and that's where we're going to be next Saturday night as we take on the San Diego Sockers. And believe me, they're hot right now. They've won the last 2 games by a total goal differential of about 16 goals to 3. And we have to go to Baltimore on Thursday night, travel all the way back Friday, get into the Kansas Coliseum Saturday. We haven't sold the place out yet, so I dearly hope we can get a lot of people in there to cheer us on and keep the tradition of entertaining games, so to speak, at home. And there you see it on the graphic right now. That's a scary stat to put up, but we've got a heck of a record going against San Diego, and if we can maintain it next Saturday, we've got a fine shot, because don't forget, we've got to play San Diego 3 more times before the end of the season. After today's game, we've only got 12 games left, so how we do against San Diego, not only next Saturday night's game, but in the remainder of the season, could dictate, Dave, where we finish in the standings at the end of the year.
You can also get your yearbooks at that game. They were on sale on Saturday night, and I had a lot of compliments from people who said exactly what you were hoping they'd say, worth waiting for.
Well, I want to thank the people, because I got about a dozen people, including the ownership of the club, say how much they enjoyed this year's yearbook. It's different. We wanted it to be fun for you to read, and we wanted it to be something that you could keep in your homes for many years to come, so you know a little bit more about these guys than just the soccer players on the field. We think we've accomplished that, so if you haven't got yours yet, please take advantage next Saturday night by getting the yearbook of this year's team, something that we're very pleased about.
And for Dallas, their next home game, March the 29th against Tacoma. Hey, ask the 25,000 people who've seen the last 2 games in this building between Wings and Dallas. It's fun to watch on television, but there's nothing like being here. We hope you'll come out in Dallas on the 29th to see the Sidekicks against Tacoma, and in Wichita, a chance Saturday night to go for that unprecedented 7th win in a row against San Diego. Last time we met, it was the Wings' unprecedented 6th consecutive victory against the Sidekicks. No team had ever done that before. The score at the half is Wichita 1 and Dallas nothing. We had a chance to visit with the head coach of the Wichita Wings, Mr. Terry Nickel, a little bit earlier. And now we bring in Billy Phillips, the head coach of the Dallas Sidekicks. Billy, it's been the type of tight defensive game your team likes to play. Sometimes Wichita will, sometimes they won't. But in the first half, they did. What do you need to do to get points on the board?
Well, I made an interesting comment to the players. I usually talk to them for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I leave them on their own a little bit. And then I came back just before we had to go out and said, hey, guys, guess what? I saw on the scoreboard it was only 1-0. And we had, one of our poorest performances in the first half, but we're kind of fortunate because Wichita has given us a tough game. They're playing extremely well defensively, and after playing last night, they're running their best they can. We just need to keep playing good defense, and we'll get enough chances to win, and hopefully we can find the back of the net, because that's our style, a good, solid defense. Just keep plugging away.
If Tattoo continues to be marked tightly, do you vary from your game plan, or do you stick with what brought you this far?
Well, Tattoo's been marked tightly every single game we've ever played. It's his opportunity to try to take advantage of those players marking tightly. And just recently in our last 10 games, we've had every player chip in and score a couple of goals. And I don't know if it's Tattoo's on a slump or we're trying to play a little bit different style, but we're playing more of a team game, and it's helping us to have some great wins.
All right, Billy, we see the players getting ready to start. We don't want them to start without you. You're an important part of that team, so thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you, Dave.
Billy Phillips, the Dallas Sidekicks head coach. And we are going to keep it here as the players stretch out. We'll get ready to start the second half. Roy, let me pick your brain. Billy Phillips, as he said, everyone marks Tattoo tightly, and they played him closely. Has that been part of their success this year, that he's gotten some help from some other people?
Well, I'm sure the people who have helped him have certainly appreciated the room that they've been given because of the attention given to Tattoo. If he gets 1 or 2 men on him, he's a good passer, he's a good vision, he's a very unselfish player, and he's going to find those other people. And to Dallas's credit, they've punished other teams when they've overemphasized Tattoo. So it's a great blend, it's a great chemistry, and Billy's just... They belong in, their strategy all year long. Defend like little demons, and we're going to score down the other end. And they're still confident they're going to do that right now, as Wichita is going to do all in their power to try and keep them out.
Can the Wings maintain that intensity for another 30 minutes, especially after having to play last night?
Well, it depends on what happens on the field. If they get behind or get a few goals behind, it's going to be pretty hard to keep going in back-to-back games when you're on the road. But if they can get another goal or two and keep in this close contest till the last couple of minutes of the game, they've got every chance. But the one thing we wouldn't like to see is go to overtime. I mean, Dallas are 8-2 in this building in overtime. It's a remarkable feat. And it speaks well for the strategy they play. The strategy of defense and get the goals when they come to you is exactly what you need in overtime. So I'm sure Terry doesn't relish the fact of going into overtime or would like to finish in regulation. But if he gets a choice between overtime and losing, it's obvious what his choice would be.
Kansas City won this afternoon 6-2 at Cleveland. So Terry Nickel's troops for the time being fall back to 2 games behind Kansas City. Baltimore will play later tonight at San Diego. Wings need to keep pace with the Comets, and Baltimore's been slumping. They've lost 6 of 9, and if Wichita could hold on to this victory, they'd really turn up the heat on Baltimore, who now has only a 1-game lead on the Comets, currently 3 over Wichita.
An interesting fact, Dave, that you told me this happened last year in Baltimore. They put so much in. They come out the blocks every year at the beginning of the season, and they're just almost unstoppable. But he eventually catches up with them. And David Burns said today on the plane coming in, they just get tired. And whether that's been the case again this year, we'll have to wait and see. But Baltimore having for them, a bad time right now.
It was at 35 games into the season last year that Baltimore started their skid. And although the players complained about having a month off to wait during the playoffs because of the Wichita-Tacoma series, it saved them. I mean, there's no doubt. Baltimore, the only playoff team that ended their last 10 games below 500. With that rest, they were able to regroup and go to the finals, where, of course, San Diego caught them. We've started the second half. Dallas controls it at midfield. Mike Powers wants to go, of course, to Tattoo at the red line. Victor Moreland draws the assignment now.
Now, as you watch this game, just be very, very careful to see if anybody makes a mistake or anybody gets lazy out there for Wichita, Dallas will punish them. And you're going to see them coming at them in hordes. And this game is such a high standard down there myself. For those of you who watch the game regular, and those of you who don't, the game is played of a very, very high caliber. In other words, you make a mistake, as a rule, you're going to get punished. So watch carefully. You see any mistakes out there right now and see how quick the other team capitalizes on them.
Fans who went to the game in Wichita saw that last night. Wichita capitalized on 2 St. Louis mistakes for unassisted goals. Those were the winners. Wichita won it 3-2. Joe Papaleo covers the ball for Dallas. Fires it to midfield, tries to go to Tattoo. Sowen knocks it away and gets it to David Byrne. Byrne back to Victor Moreland.
In the first half, some of you might have noticed number 8, Wes McLeod, for Dallas, limping a little bit. Well, he's hurt his ankle and he may not return in this game. And it's bad news for Dallas, good news for Wichita, as Wes McLeod, one of the better defenders in the league, and will be sadly missed in the second half for Dallas.
McLeod leads the MISL in blocks. He has 110, his career high 113. Dallas's team record 122. Mike Powers set that a couple of years ago. Ian Fairbrother to Michael Fox for the wings. Goran Hunyak on. Also, of course, we wonder if Chico Borja will return. Powers on Irvine. Dale keeps it alive. Tried to backheel for Fox. Kevin Smith takes it away. Fox chips it back down to Hunyak. Fox is hammered on the boards by Kevin Smith, and the wings will restart it at the Dallas red line.
Kevin Smith sitting on Mike Fox's head right now, and he's slow to get up. The train is being called on. Paul Glick coming over to see him.
You know, Rebecca's not going to like this comment because obviously she doesn't want her husband hit in the face. But every time they go down, I'd much rather see him take a blow there than see him grabbing for their knee.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anybody injured, but knee problems in the indoor game with the AstroTurf and the action-packed and the contact, I'm afraid it's become more common than we would like. But Dave's right. This Michael probably just got shaking the cobwebs out of his head as Smith hit him a little bit late, and
once again, giving him a little tap.
Dallas doing a good job defending. That's what they do best, let's face it. But Dale Irvine is still showing why size is so important to a front man. The last attack that Wichita had, one of the few in the game, was set up by him being able to hold off Mike Powers behind him and lay it off to somebody else. Good target man, Dale Irvine. Although he started this game, of course, as a fullback when we drafted him out of UCLA, eventually has gone right up to the front and one of the leading goal scorers in the league right now. That's Dale Irvine for Wichita, number 11.
Willen will take the restart. Mike Powers was a forward at Rockhurst in Kansas City and played it in high school in St. Louis. Of course, became a defender for you and Dallas. Not uncommon for American players, as they say, to learn the game at the back. Irvine banks one off the boards in front. Hunyak chasing through, can't get it. Kinsey comes out in a run. Irvine pulls him down, but he fouls. Give the ball to Dallas at midfield.
As so often happens when people are running alongside each other, their hands kind of make contact with each other, push and shove, and like they're dancing with each other. And the waltz was that time not done legally by Dale Irvine, and Dallas get a free kick.
Salgado turns Willen. Here he comes. Shot wide and blocked by Fairbrother. Followed by Kinsey and turned aside by Greg Willen, who got a foot on it. Bruno Ferretti steps through. His shot is into the crowd, and the Wings have a goal kick.
Ron Fair and they're applauding his defenders. Ian Fairbrother was the one who blocked the shot from Salgado, who just slipped by Greg Willen. Don't forget, Salgado, number 16, Louisville High School, 2 years ago. I think he's only 20 years old right now. It just shows you the youth of America and the youth in Dallas, which has got a great youth program around here, is looking real good for the future. And while we don't want him to do too well, he's certainly proven tonight that he's got a future in this league.
Ian Fairbrother for Wichita. Tohunyak at midfield, marked by Troy Snyder, played at Penn State collegiately. Willen from Jacksonville University gets a step on Salgado, coming through, left foot, blocked in front by Chinapoo, and it's Beto who controls for Dallas.
That time it was Greg Willen returning the favor to Greg Salgado, slipping by him, but now it's Salgado the other way.
To Kinsey, left-footed shot, saved by Ronnie Fearon, and Sowen puts it on his foot and hands it to Ron.
Great save that time by Ron Fearon. And good break by Dallas. Now the game's going up and down the field a little bit quicker as both teams are attempting to penetrate.
Salgado for Dallas. 11:30 to go in the third quarter. It's 1-0 Wichita. Chinapoo takes it right onto the big State of Texas logo in the middle of the field. Tattoo will come back to Troy Snyder. He chases into the kickoff circle. Tommy Sowen marking Tattoo. Now it's Lawson who pokes into the left corner. Has a step on Fairbrother, sends it through. It rolls along the mouth of the goal and back up to the red line. Kevin Smith for Dallas in front of Perry Vanderbeck. And back to Powers. They go to Tattoo in front. He's pushing off on Tommy Sowen. Takes a lot of guts to make that call in this building, Roy.
Well, Tattoo was trying to shield the ball, and Tommy Sowen was trying to intercept it. So it's obstruction for Tattoo as he prevented Tom from coming through and winning that ball. Tattoo, always appealing, always got something to say to the referee. But deep in his heart, I think I know the call's being made the right way as Ian Fairbrother restarts for Wichita.
Tattoo may be the only player in the league's history to be fined for diving. Fearon wants to go long for Chapman. Gets a step behind Lawson. Ball's off high the boards. Tough angle. And he'll have to bring it back down to Ian Fairbrother and Terry Rowe. Rowe to Andy. Overshoots him. Lawson should get it back. Just inside 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sowen will chase it down against Tattoo. Wants to come back to Andy Chapman at the red line. Puts it down and Powers will flick it away. Rowe's header. Dallas controls. They get it into Papaleo.
The ball coming loose a little bit too many times. Wichita play it forward. They've got to get a hold of it, give the other guys a chance to come and support them.
Tattoo against Sowen. Left corner of the penalty area. He steps through. His shot is saved again by Fearon, who's been dynamite. They say, no, the shot doesn't matter. Is pushing off again on Dallas.
What a great chance for Tattoo. He gets his shot off quicker than anybody I've ever seen. He just makes one move. He sends the defender the one way. And by the time the reaction comes, let's just watch it right here. One shimmy. The defender doesn't have any time to react. He's already got the shot off. But for a great save and maybe a foul in front, it's a goal kick actually, but you still saw the great skill of Tattoo there as he nearly put the Sidekicks level in this contest.
Moreland stand next to Ron Fearon. Ron will play it short to Victor. And when pressured by Salgado, he'll get it into his keeper. We're near 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dale Irvine has the only goal in the game. Whoops, Fearon almost hits the assistant referee in the box. Not sure if the fans are cheering because Fearon kicked it out or because he almost hit the referee.
And there's the official on the field. Thinks it's quite humorous too, but Ron thinking he's at the fairground once again, trying to knock off the coconuts, and there's the coconut right there with his hand up. He missed him, but
can you say that?
Well, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say, but Ron may have got a bigger cheer if he'd have hit him.
Here comes Dolly in front to Snyder, whose shot is saved again by Ron.
Whether he hit him or not, Ron Fearon's looking real sharp in the nets right now for Fearon, and he seems to be getting his hands on each and everything, but Dallas giving a little bit of pressure right now, a bit more space offensively as Wichita are trying to get an attack going for themselves the other way.
Tattoo and Byrne tied up in front of the Wichita bench. Tattoo comes out with a Byrne trips him. And give it to the Sidekicks in front of the Wichita bench. Tattoo will run against Willen to the red line. Greg holds his ground. Takes it away, but he fouled.
Sure, Coach Billy Phillips of Dallas would like to see Tattoo near the goal when he's trying that dribbling. If he gets by anybody from that far out, he's still got a long way to go. And here he is again. Once again, he's behind the red line. Greg winning the ball this time, but good defense by Greg Willen.
Ketter gives it away at midfield, and again the carpet takes down a player, Richard Chinapoo. 1-0, Wichita leads it. Did somebody forget to bring the glue tonight? As the carpet keeps coming up in front of the Dallas bench.
Well, you know, this doesn't happen in the Kansas Coliseum. I know that sounds... But they have, like, Velcro underneath our carpet that they secure to the base of the floor each and every game. And so Sam Fulco and the guys at the Coliseum, congratulations. You're seeing one of the things that we don't see very often in the Kansas Coliseum because of your hindsight in preventing the carpet coming up whenever players tackle on or about the seams of the carpet.
Tell you, anyone who's ever walked on that carpet down there, whether it's here or there, can really appreciate what a player goes through when they slide on this to block a shot. It is murder on the legs. Wichita bench, the Wings are up by 1, 9:13 to go in the third.
A noticeable absentee in the second half is Chico Borja, so maybe Terry didn't get the kind of news he wanted at halftime, and Chico has not seen any action in this first 5 minutes of the second half.
Snyder wants to go to Tattoo. Willen takes it away, but is over the glass with it, and Dallas will restart it at the red line. Tattoo likes to take the ball with his back to the defender. And you mentioned, Roy, he's been getting it a long ways out.
You know, this guy's going to beat you, and if he's going to beat you anywhere, let him beat a long way away from the goal, where you've got more chance of maybe even getting back at him, or he may run out of steam before he gets to the goal. But right now, he's in front of the goal. Let's see what Dallas do.
Chinapoo rolls to Dolly in the right corner, pokes one through, it's on the line! It's into the goal, and Dallas has tied it. The ball rolled on the mouth, and it looks like Dolly is the person who may have just hipped it on into the goal. We're tied at 1.
Well, you got to play the balls, and you see Tattoo is taking the crowd. The ball bounced between Ron and Dolly, bounced across the line, and Dolly had the simple task of putting the ball into the net after he'd done the difficult part in trying to squeezing the ball around the boards and through Ron Fearon to tie this game up. And Dolly, I think he took advantage of a little attention that Wichita were giving to Tattoo. Whatever, let's give the boy credit. Did a good job in getting the ball around the boards. It broke loose for him, and he had the simple task of putting it into the net to tie it up.
His first name, Dalibor. He goes by the shortened Dolly. His 5th goal of the year from Chinapoo. Time of the goal, 6:08 of the third. Dallas has tied it. Wings try to pull it out. It's Chico Borja who fights with Chinapoo. Back to Smith. In for Salgado. Salgado will bring it back to Snyder at midfield. 1-1 tie, 8.5 to go, third quarter.
Chico on the field, but I'm afraid it looks like he's limping a bit.
Beto gets a step. Fearon turns it aside. Mike Fox comes in to Beto, but they say it's Beto who does the pushing and give it back to the Wings.
That's the toe poke I warned you about, folks. Ron Fearon did very well indeed to keep number 25 Beto off the score sheet that time. He kind of just got that toe poke away. It looks like it was going in. Ron deflected it wide, and eventually Wichita got the foul. But Dallas exerting a lot of pressure on this Wings defense.
Borja. Fox! Left corner penalty area. Tries to send one down to Chico. Can't roll one through. Lawson knocks it away. Here comes Dallas. They'll stop. Bring it back to their own third.
It looks to be a little exhaust. Well, a little lack of oxygen right now. Mike Fox has gotten off, but Wichita may be suffering from last night's game. Who knows? It's a little early, but right now the momentum, of course, is with Dallas after that goal that equalized this game.
Lawson at the halfway line rolls back to Kevin Smith. To Lawson on the boards marked by Irvine. Powers for Tattoo. Sowen and David Byrne. Smith in the right corner. He's got it. Sends it back to Tattoo. Oh, 2 Wings. Rowe and Sowen block. Tattoo can't get another one on the goal. The ball in the right corner. Tattoo comes out with it. Sowen knocks it away. Dolly at the red line. Powers, left-footed shot. Right in front is Tattoo. And there's his goal. Dallas leads it 2-1. You can hold him out only so long. That's 50 goals on the year for the fabulous Armadillo, Tattoo.
I talked about momentum. Dolly got a lot of confidence from his first goal, and Wichita are pulled 2-1, which leaves the man open. Mike Powers threads the needle, and Tattoo does a great job of finishing it. Wichita are at 6 and 7, something they haven't been defensively the rest of this game. But this game's it's 60 minutes long, and Wichita, that time of course, 2 men on one. Dallas punished them as Dallas put the ball into net for their Sidekicks to go ahead.
We'll be back. This is MISL Soccer.
We'd like to make a point. With this filthy piece of grungy burlap, Bold works like no regular detergent can, because Bold has deep fiber action that actually fluffs up and untangles fibers while it releases trapped dirt. So even burlap comes out clean and as soft as a baby's, well, you know, Bold, for a clean that feels as good as it looks.
It's Dallas 2, Wichita 1, 7:05 left to go in the third quarter. Dallas has scored 2 goals in less than 2 minutes, Roy, to turn the momentum in this game.
The next 5 minutes key for Wichita. They need to stop the leak. And I mentioned earlier, if you make mistakes, Dallas will punish you. And that time, Wichita were caught defensively 2-on-1, which meant somebody else was open. It was Mike Powers who laid a perfect pass into Tattoo to put the ball in the Dallas Sidekicks, to the Dallas Sidekicks' advantage. So Dallas have gone ahead. If they go any further ahead, it could be danger. And Wichita right now are going to try and have to keep composure.
Does Terry Nickel necessarily shift his attack right now?
No, he just tries. There's only 1 goal, Dave. It's nothing in indoor soccer, so we just have to maintain right now and establish our honesty defensively that we did so well in the first half. Once we've got that, then we can start going forward again and trying to get a goal back into ourselves. But until we get that consistency that we had in the first half back, it's no use thinking about going forward too much.
Kenzie at the red line of Wichita. He's got some speed. His shot off the boards. Dolly can't finish. Irvine to Fairbrother. Back to Gorn at the red line. Ball intercepted by Snyder, but Willen will get it back. Here comes Greg. Willen to the red line of Dallas. Snyder wraps his arm around him and pulls him down. S.A. Boheimer signals a foul on Snyder. The Wings will get it outside the Dallas red line.
Troy Snyder, he was drafted by the Minnesota Kicks, 4th round pick actually, I believe in 1986. Been a great acquisition for Dallas. Wonderful speed, as you saw that time as he got back after Greg Willen had almost zipped by him, and he caught up with him after giving Greg maybe 10 yards.
Here's Greg on the left boards. Goran Hunyak. Irvine knocked down by Lawson. And the Wings will restart it above the left corner of the Dallas penalty area. Hunyak has it. Down to Rose, lines it through. Papaleo, easy save.
Something better could have come from that, Dave, as the Sidekicks had left Terry Rowe deep in the corner all alone. But Terry, I'm afraid, just put it right back to Joe Papaleo, who was very alert and just picked it up and started the next Sidekicks attack.
Victor Moreland, Wichita's captain, dumps it in front for Irvine. They're going to say Dale pushed off. And they'll give the ball to Dallas.
Well, the Dallas offense right now seems to be trying to get the ball into Dale Irvine, who's done a great job of shielding it. That time he was called for fouling. They said he was holding the player who was behind him, and so Dallas get the ball back. But Dale Irvine seems to be it as far as offensive thought for Wichita goes right now, as I'm afraid Andy and Kelly just don't seem to be able to hold on to the ball in the necessary fashion to cause any trouble for the Sidekicks.
Irvine has Wichita's only goal, his team leading 35th of the year. Tattoo, his league leading 50th. They run 1-2 in the league goal scoring race, but no one's going to catch Tattoo. So and long for Irvine, over the top of the glass, out of play. And the ball belongs to Dallas in the Sidekicks' third. Roy, Dallas played an exhibition game this year with the Houston team of the Sizzle, Southwestern Indoor Soccer League. Beat them 20-0, which the Sizzle now working with a developmental deal with the AISA. I got a chuckle in the Wichita paper this morning from the comments from the AISA demanding a challenge with the MISL. I'm afraid that 20-0 score shows you the other leagues are not up to this level.
No, they're not, and we say it very respectfully. I think in our camp each and every season, as Victor's getting a little bit angry and upset with Richard Chinapu. But referee's saying, just quieten down, boys. And that's just what they do. But back to the, our memory of his tattoo.
Takes the shot, hits Moreland, goes back into Fearon.
The guys come into our camp for tryouts. If they make it, they love it here in the MISL. If they don't make it, they go immediately to the other league, where most of them always get contracts. So no disrespect to anybody in the other league, but there's no question in my mind of the class difference between the two leagues.
Richard Chinapu tries to clear it out. Well, I remember when Terry Nickel came back to town one time from Memphis when he was coaching with the AISA. Smith sets up Tattoo on top of the arc, turns Moreland, shot, saved by Fearon. And Andy Chapman was playing in Cleveland at the time, and I had a chance to go out and eat with both of them. And Andy was wearing one of his fancy sport coats. And he looked at Terry Nickel and he said, you know, Terry, this coat costs what one of your players costs in the AISA. Terry said, no, that's my salary cap. Borja down the right boards against Lawson. Lawson plays him into the boards. Foul on Dallas. Wings will get it outside the Dallas red line.
Chico look a little excited there. Doc Lawson muscling him off the ball. And Terry's putting a few new faces in right now as he puts the two Chicos on for them. And Billy Phillips obviously noticing that he's on and probably going to give somebody a man-for-man assignment on Chico Borja.
Box trip by Salgado. Give it to the wings at the red line. Chico Borja last scored a goal February the 18th in St. Louis. That was the day his daughter Patricia was born, so as they say. He's due. Morera comes in above the right corner of the penalty area, pokes it down to Fox, back in front. Chico can't get it there. Beto will clear for Dallas.
You saw once again, though, Morera's great talent going forward, deceiving everybody, putting a beautiful pass through, and the only thing left was the pass back to him from Mike Fox. Michael unable to give it to him, but good run forward by Chico Morera.
Chapman to roll, gets the shot, but Papaleo makes the save. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. 2-1 Dallas now is taking the advantage. Papaleo plays the ball to Doc Lawson. Chris Sobieski is hurt right now with a back strain, so Joe Papaleo is shouldering the load. He missed the first part of this season, injured his knee playing a pickup game of basketball with some friends. Irvine at the red line. Dale comes above the left corner of the penalty area against Dolly, pushes it all the way to the right side. Tries to get in front, Borja, knocked away by Kinsey. Rose sliding tackle, but Dallas will get it back. And Dolly dumps it to midfield. Rowe hits the ground again, this time can't take it away. Lawson hangs on. You know, not only did Papaleo do his knee playing basketball after 89, he did it at playing golf in 85 and missed some time. Some players have no skydiving or skiing in their contracts. They're going to have to write into Joe Papaleo's contract in Dallas. No other sports of any kind. Tattoo against Willen. Sets up Chinapu into the right corner for Dolly. Dolly knocked down by Morera. No call. Vanderbeek tries to dig the ball out. Chinapu fights with him. The ball to the red line. Irvine pokes it free. Foot race, but Snyder has the angle. He'll beat Vanderbeek to the ball and roll it back into Joe Papaleo.
Right now, Dave, Wichita are taking a few chances going forward. It's going to be one of two results. The first one is they will be successful in putting the ball in. The second one is that Dallas will get a bit more room to go forward and be able to punish them going the other way. So the game's opened up dramatically since the first half.
Willen has it knocked away by Kinsey. Vanderbeek on the boards is pulled down by Snyder. Late whistle, but how can you dispute that one? I think the camera never lies. Troy had his arms wrapped around him and tugged Perry to the ground. Bernal restarted for Wichita. 2:08 left to go in the third quarter. Dallas 2, Wichita 1. Morera runs through. Byrne finds Chico, leaves it for David. Byrne in front! Shot won't go. They whistle a handball to set it up and give it back to Dallas.
Nice give and go again, and the man involved, number 2 for Wichita, Chico Morera, as Joe Papaleo will get the restart from an intentional handball in front of him.
Snyder rolls it back to him. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2-1 Dallas. Lawson marked by David Byrne. Byrne, since he's come to Wichita, 16 games, 15 goals, 12 assists, 27 points. He's on a 9-game scoring streak, but that's in jeopardy right now. Papaleo to midfield to Dolly. Fox can't take it away. He's fouling. Give it to the Sidekicks at midfield.
Number 6, Daly, now looks like a good player for Dallas as he scored a goal, and obviously it's done a lot for his confidence. And, you know, you talked about David Byrne. Wichita, I'm sorry, probably looking for him to come alive as he's been had a quiet game by his standards so far.
Lawson in the kickoff circle. With 1:20 to go, Dallas goes to Ferretti, and it's taken away by Marrera, who shows no fear diving into the ball. Lawson takes it away from Byrne. Ferretti gets Kinsey. Dallas has a numbers advantage. They poke it to the left corner. Maybe not the best place to pass it. They do find Lawson in front. Fox knocks it off the boards. Marrera clears. Over the glass, out of play. Give it to Dallas on the left boards. 1:08 to play in the third quarter.
Lawson using that great strength to give Dallas another opportunity going the other way. He pushed by Byrne and given them the man advantage going forward. As you saw from that stat, Dallas has certainly had the advantage in shots and in goals in this third quarter. They've scored 2 to Wichita 0, and they're just 1 goal ahead. But there's still a lot of time left, Dave, and Wichita right now looking for that second best, that second, second wind. That's what I'm looking for. They battle to come back in this contest.
Wichita's beaten Dallas in Wichita. 0 for 2 overtime games here. They're trying to find Kinsey in front. Rowe heads it out. Lawson strikes one wide to the right. Soen back to Fearon. Ron comes out with it and throws it long. Wants to go to Ketter. Lawson will get there first. Banks Ketter down at the red line. No call. Rowe comes into Kinsey. Marrera keeps it alive. Chico up to Terry Rowe. Wants to go to Borja. Can't control the header. And with 47 seconds left in the quarter, Dallas takes the ball just behind the Wichita bench.
Certainly like the way Chico Marrera is playing right now. He's coming through very well for Wichita. He looks like he wants to get involved, and whenever that happens, something can open up. But the game is, both teams now are realizing the position, they're realizing the time in the game, and due to fatigue or whatever you want to call it, the score on the board, the game is definitely opening up as both teams are still intent on scoring goals as opposed to the first half, which are more content to keep the other team out.
Smith goes long for Salgado in the left corner. Tommy Soen marks. This is the third. Salgado in front. Rowe comes in to help. Now Borja in the corner. Ball back to the red line, Shinapu. Third game this year in Dallas between the two teams. Third time the Wings have had a game the night before, and Dallas did not. Although it's been a tough week for Dallas as Fearon plays it to the Sidekicks bench. They've had 2 games away from home before heading home.
And they won both of them. They're over 500, I believe, on the road. Only 2 teams, I believe, who've got over 500 on the road. Baltimore, the other one. No coincidence that both teams are number 1 in their respective divisions.
Chapman tries to win a header from Beto. Powers to Beto. Borja's header clears the red line. Kevin Smith into the crowd with it. And with 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Ron Fearon, the goal kick for Wichita.
West Regional, Xavier 74, Georgetown 71. 1 minute left to play.
13 seconds to go. Remember, the goalkeeper not allowed to kick the ball through 2 lines, so you're going to see a defender, and Tom Soen gets a nod. He's going to boot this ball the length of the field and hope one of the orange shirts can get on the end of it.
Shinapu heads it. Off the glass. Fox and Snyder fight for it. Borja nicely played. Fox down the left boards. Sends one in front. Cleared out by Powers. And that ends the third quarter. So Dallas scores twice in the third. And they take the lead to the fourth quarter. After 3, the Sidekicks 2, Wichita 1. This is MISL Soccer.
Get that guy a doctor.
Until now, the hardest part of working up a thirst was quenching it. Because even though thirst quenchers were good for you, they just didn't taste very good. Until 10K. Finally, a thirst quencher with vitamin C, low sodium, and great taste. So next time you work up a thirst, you'll have something to look forward to. A 10K.
This is a machine designed to make travel easier. And these are its most important parts. Responsive, reliable, hard-working. The men and women of American Airlines, dedicated professionals, committed to personal service. Flight after flight after flight.
Welcome back to Dallas's Reunion Arena. The Sidekicks lead the Wings 2-1 going to the fourth quarter. I'm Dave Phillips with Roy Turner. Next Wings home game is Saturday night against San Diego, but you might make plans for this one, especially if you'd like to take the group in your block or just organize everyone in your block buying tickets for Group Leader Day, Roy.
Take your fellow workers, your neighbors, get anybody. But if you can sell 10 tickets to this particular game, then that will immediately qualify you for an autographed team pennant. If you can get as many as 50, and then you get 5 shots at the big trip, but you get a team jersey first of all, but then you get 5 chances to win a trip for 2 out to San Diego with the Wichita Wings' final road game of the year. So you win no matter what you do, and all you have to do to get the actual prizes are sell 10 tickets for the April 8th game. If you want more information, just call Jim Carabin down at the Wings office. That's 262-3545. And we look forward to one of those people who calls in joining the Wings on their final road trip at the end of the season out to San Diego.
You fly with the team. You'll stay in the hotel with the team. Depending on the injury situation, you may get a shift. We'll see.
Yeah.
Now, we can't promise that. But if there are some injuries, you might get a chance to put on your official team jersey that you get for selling 50 tickets and get in there and play a run of defense.
We think it's a great idea, and we're trying to include everybody, and obviously we'd like to sell the game out. It's a big game for us anyway, Kansas City. But before we play Kansas City, we've got this battle to go, 15 minutes more with the Dallas Sidekicks right now as we trail by 1.
Into the fourth quarter, Dallas leads. On the air, the Wings have struggled when they've been behind going to the fourth quarter. They've only won 2 times in 19 games when they've trailed into the fourth.
That's why I hate stats, because, you know, it looks like it's hopeless, but I don't believe it is. I think the Wings have done well. They've defended magnificently, and I think right now we just need a little bit of offensive power to be provided to just come back in this game, because, of course, they're only 1 down.
Rowe has it back at midfield. Dumps it for Kenner in the corner. Lawson really hammers him. Foul on Dallas. But if you think that stat makes it look hopeless, don't forget the last 3 games between these two teams have been tied by a 6th attacker and sent to overtime, including the last time in this building when the Wings scored 2 6th attacker goals to turn a 6-4 game into a 6-6 tie. So, no, it's not over, not by any stretch. In fact, as Dallas will tell you, it's not even over with 6 seconds left. That was the mark when they tied Wichita 2 trips ago.
Real pretty girl there with a sidekick green balloon. She's real happy. I don't know whether they do a balloon burst down here, but most of the things we've done in Wichita have been copied in most of the franchises, so I expect they would, and that little charming girl is dying, I'm sure, not to worry about the game, but just to burst that green balloon.
You know, I think it's great that we can't, some might say steal, but I think that's great that we can share those ideas with other teams in the league.
Of course. On the field, we're all enemies, but up the field, we're all friends as we try to build the MISL up into the major force that we hope it will be for the years to come.
I could tell of the strong bond of friendship between you and Gordon Jago as his parting shot to you after the halftime interview was, "Hope you lose, Roy."
Yeah, he's done a great job here. He did a great job in Tampa. He's been in the game a long time. Very, very big coach in England before he got here. And obviously he'll be very pleased right now to see his Sidekicks 25-15, by the way. 1 goal ahead, but Gordon, and all of you, as I'm sure know, hang on to your seats, folks, because this one isn't over yet.
I just don't know about the idea about taking an old coach, though, and putting him as a president on a team. I'm not sure that'd work.
I think it's a winner each and every time.
Here comes Dolly to the red line of Wichita. Still coming into the right corner. Rowe marks defensively. Poke through. Fearon will pick it up. Ron says, where are my defenders? Marrera says, go left. He sends it to Greg Willen. Number 7 for Dallas is Rod Scott, a rookie from Akron, who is a little overzealous on his first shift.
People might remember Scott from the Budweiser Showcase ride in Wichita. He performed well. He was the #1 draft pick for Dallas and had, as far as I'm concerned, a real good season. Here he goes.
Falls over the ball. Greg says, come on. They call Willen for the push. They'll give it back to Dallas.
Yeah, I think he did fall over the ball, and he's looking to get a free kick, but that's what's going to happen right now. Dallas from the red line.
Tattoo in front for Kinsey. Tries to turn against Marrera. Gives it back to Tattoo. Tattoo pokes it off the boards. Oh, there's Kinsey in front, but he's too high with it. And it's a goal kick for Ron Fearon.
Once again, you see Daly there. He was the man who got the tying goal in this contest. Wichita had only 1 man back and 2 white shirts, so they're going to have to be careful. The reason, they were putting 2 men on Tattoo, so that's what you were speaking a little bit early in the contest, Dave. He might not score goals sometimes, but he's certainly going to give openings for other people as he draws attention.
Chico Marrera, marked by Beto, gives it back to Fearon. Ron's played an even 500 away from home. He comes into this game 5-5. Goes to Irvine in the left corner. Dale back to Chico Borja. Mike Fox also on the pitch up front. Sowen and Marrera defensively. Into the right corner. Powers should get there first ahead of Irvine. Dale up to Fox on top of the arc. Back to Marrera. Chico lets one go. Fox in front. Deflects it, but right to Joe Papaleo.
Tremendous work rate right now from Dallas, though, defensively. They know Wichita are putting the pressure on them, and they're equal to the task. They're really defending terrific.
Uh-oh, Tattoo gets a break, gives it to Smith. His shot is saved on the line by Tommy Sowen. And Marrera dumps it back to Borja. Chico, marked by Mike Powers. Powers will come and strip it away. 2-on-1 with Tattoo. Gets Tattoo, left corner of the penalty area. His shot is saved again by Ron Fearon.
Tom Sowen and Ron Fearon just prevented Dallas from going any further attack. 2 just tremendous blocks as Wichita go down the other end, but good defensive plays by the Wichita wings.
Dale Irvine thought he was fouled by Doc Lawson. Terry Rowe comes in, sends Lawson down. Foul on Rowe. Dallas has the ball in its own inside. 11:58 left to go now. Fourth quarter, 2-1 Dallas.
Dallas getting some opportunities as they come on the attack after Wichita trying to throw people forward. The game opening up once again for Dallas as they're trying to maintain this 1-goal lead.
Dallas scored twice in the third quarter. They outshot Wichita 2-1. And they control the game right now by 1 slim goal. Lawson back in his own third with Joe Papaleo.
You saw 4 blocks for Dallas right there, but there's none more important than the one that happened in this fourth quarter, which was the one that he just kicked up the line after Ron Fearon looked beaten.
The Wings are waiting at the red line. Lawson says, I'm in no hurry. Now when Irvine comes up, they'll roll it back to Papaleo. Papaleo's distribution, Sowen soars for a header. Back to Dale at the red line. 3 white shirts collapse around him. Beto will play it back into Papaleo. Since it came from behind the red line, Papaleo can't use his hands. He plays it into the crowd. Exactly 11 minutes to go. Wings down by 1.
Tom Sowen done a good job defensively for Wichita against what I think will be the most valuable player in the league this year. 93 points for Tattoo so far in the season. Obviously, he's going to get over that 100 limit, and Tom's trying to make sure he doesn't do it in such a hurry as he's done a good job defending against him tonight.
You think he'll be MVP. Take a bow. Before the season started, you said he'd be the most valuable player this year.
I had to watch him for 2 minutes before I said that. But no, he makes that decision a little bit easy with his great skill and just a great team player for Dallas.
He is just running away with the league scoring chase. No one will catch him. Irvine takes it away. Shot just missed wide to the left. Fox runs it back down and gets it to Victor Moreland in the kickoff circle. Now here's a question for you. Who wins the most valuable player award in Wichita? That's not an open and shut case. Hunyak, whoops, doesn't control it. Plays it over the glass. Dallas will get it at the Wings red line. 10.5 to go in the game. Sidekicks lead by 1, 2-1.
After the season it's been for Wichita, they're right at 500 right now. I think the last 13 games, the last 12 after today, could dictate who is the MVP for the club. So the drive-in is going to dictate a lot of things. Who we play in the playoffs, who the star player is, and maybe some of our future plans for the club. But so far, Nothing's been decided. There's nothing really been that comes out and hits you and grabs you and says, hey, I've got to be MVP in this club so far.
Troy Snyder wants to go to Tattoo. Willen knocks it away. They fight on the boards. Greg can't get it back to his keeper. Tattoo making his life miserable. Greg pokes it right through his legs up to Michael Fox. Fox to midfield. Can't get it all the way to Chapman, and Doc Lawson will control for the Sidekicks.
Greg Willen that time, dribbling Tattoo. That's a switch for you. But he couldn't get it anywhere, and Dallas keep up the pressure.
Willen on Tattoo on the boards. Tattoo tries to get it through. Willen takes it away again. Tattoo wraps his legs around him to pull him down. And Greg rolls back into Fearon. 10 minutes to go in the game. 2-1 Dallas.
You know, somebody once told me the sign of a great player is somebody who just realizes that the constant kicking is the utmost respect you can get in soccer. And Tattoo certainly gets his, you know, he's got everybody's respect, and sometimes he gets kicked and kicked and kicked just because they think he is the great player. And he certainly is that, and he takes a lot of punishment every game, but keeps on just coming back time in, time out.
Fearon to the red line. And beyond, now he can kick it all the way downfield. Headed away by Chinapu. Sowen flies in, keeps it alive to Hunyak on the left boards against Troy Snyder. Give Goran Hunyak an inch, and he's dangerous. He takes the shot wide to the right. Rowe comes in, takes it into the corner, banks one off the boards. Tommy can't quite poke it through. Papaleo picks it up. Joe Papaleo's changed his uniform number again. He's 24. Every time he and his wife have a new child, he adds up the numbers and the birthday.
Is that right?
And with their new son this year, the first after a couple of daughters, comes out to 24. Smith rolls it to Salgado. The red line. Sowen's right there to knock it back into Fearon.
Can't say enough about Tommy Sowen's defensive play tonight. He's blocked goal, he's blocked shots, he's prevented a goal on the goal line, and he's just got his toe on everything, and he's just done a great job for Wichita defensively. Here he is coming forward with the ball right now, starting Wichita down the other end.
Chinapu takes it away from Byrne. Sowen bangs Dolly at midfield, rolls it to Fox, gets it back to Byrne. 3-on-3. It's about the best numbers the Wings have had in a while in the Dallas end. Byrne tries to go to Irvine. Kinsey takes it back and pokes it through.
Byrne not quite as effective today as he has been in the last few contests, but you know, if ever we do get to pull the goalkeeper, I'm sure Byrne will be the quarterback behind that, so there's still plenty of time for him to shine in this one, Dave.
8:05 left to go in the game. These, I guess you wouldn't have expected anything else the way these two teams have played. Overtime, the last 3 times they've met, Dallas is 2-1 in those games, and a phenomenal 10-4 in extra sessions. You said it on our talk show on the radio before the game. You don't think it's just a flip of the coin when Dallas plays overtime?
Actually, I think the 10-4 or 12, well, whatever, 10-4. The whole strategy of the way Dallas play the game is exactly what you need in overtime periods. You've got to have great defense and just rely that the goals will come down the other end. And that's just what they do, and that's why they've been so very successful. And that's why the record is 25-15. If you reverse that situation, they'd be just an average team. They're not, because of their overtime sessions they've had so far, and that's why they're #1 with the best record in the MISL so far.
Fearon to Willen, back to Ron. There's Fearon at the red line for Wichita. Rolls it on that line to Greg Willen. Willen lets it fly. Irvine and Lawson will chase in the corner. No one will catch that when it's out of play. We have a timeout. 7:49 to go in the game. It's Dallas 2, Wichita 1, and this is MISL Soccer.
There's something about it. It's great.
It's just different.
Diet Dr. Pepper is
like nothing else.
Hey, here, I'm looking to marry a horse. I'm looking for a stable relationship. Bada-boomski! I just got an older woman. Then one day I told her to rack her age, and she died. Bada-boomski! I almost got killed the other day. I went to the antique shop and asked what's new. I'm on a roll now, don't stop me. Hey, I asked my mother-in-law the other day what you thought of red china. She says not with your pink tablecloth.
If you really want to see some good comics,
Pick up the Sunday comics in the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Badaboomski!
7:49 left to go in the game. Dallas leads Wichita by 1. Terry Nickel trying to rally the troops. Kansas City has won today. The Comets go to 23 and 18. And for the time being, lead Wichita by 2 in second place. Baltimore playing later tonight at San Diego leads Wichita by 3 games. Cleveland with a loss to Kansas City, 6 behind Wichita for the final playoff spot.
For those of you who don't know, the NYSL, the playoffs are as such. It is 3 will play 2 in the best-of-5 series, with the home field advantage being on with the number 2 team. The winner of it will play number 1 in their division in the best-of-7 series, and of course the conference champion will play the other conference winner, and those games will be taking place starting at the end of the season, which is April 25th of this year.
8,328 watching the Wings in Dallas today. Tattoo gets it from Willen. Back to Smith. Kevin Smith. Oh, his left open. His shot is saved by Farron. The defense parted, worrying about Tattoo.
It wasn't a bad call by the defenders, though, because if they'd have closed him down, that ball would have been slipped so very, very easy to Tattoo, as Perry Vanderbeck for Wichita was down injured, so to speak, so they were short-handed. I thought they did well to clear that ball, and maybe a fortunate break as Smith's shot was smothered by Ron Fearon.
Michael Fox shoved twice by Kevin Smith. Back to midfield, tries to turn him onto the boards. Smith pokes it away. Tattoo picks it up. Fox can't get it back from Tattoo. The Sidekicks bring it into the Wichita, and Dolly has Chinapu in front. Doesn't get it to him. Sowen comes out with it. Tommy cut down by Dolly. He's gone for 2 minutes, and with 6:56 to go in the game, the Wings get a power play to try to tie this up. That's the good news. The bad news is obvious. Of the last 22 power plays, the Wings have not scored on 19 of them.
And we've also let quite a few goals going in the other way, but let's be positive right now. Tommy Sowen once again doing just a great job. This time he gets the penalty for Wichita. He's given them an advantage for the next 2, as he got tripped by Dolly. And Dolly, how do you pronounce this, Dave? Dolly, hello, Dolly. Anyway, whoever it is, the guy is sitting in the bench right now for the next 2 minutes. It's Wichita's power play. It's not very awesome, folks, but let's hope that they can change that around right now. Let's just tell you who's in it. Chapman's right along the goal. There's Mike Fox, who's going to quarterback. To his left will be Dale Irvine. To his right will be Chico Borja. And up front, in between, so to speak, will be David Byrne. And this is another little change as Dale Irvine's gone to the left-hand side. That's where the problem we're having, Dave. On the left-hand side, you need a left-hand shooter, and we just don't have that powerful left-hand shooter, the likes of Barry Wallace or a Preki or something like that can really be a threat on that left-hand side. A left-hand shooter, a right-footed shooter on the left-hand side, always has to bring the ball to the inside to shoot the ball with his right foot, and where there's less space to get the shot off.
6:43 left to go in the game. 147 in Wichita's man advantage as they try to tie. Dallas's penalty killers, worst in the league. They hit only at about 50% on the success rate.
Well, in the MISL, you're looking for the breaks, you're looking for the chances, and that's what a power play will do for you. So let's see Perry Vanderbeck put onto the field to win the ball. He'll scamper off, and Andy Chapman will come and replace him as Wichita Wings go down the field once again.
The clock you saw in the right-hand corner of the screen, the game time, 6.5 left, minute and a half left in the man advantage. Chinapu heads it away to Snyder. Beto dumps it off the boards. Fox will get it back to Chico. Borja across the red line. Sets up Fox. Michael's shot from a long way out, misses wide left. Irvine picks it up. Byrne, Borja, Chico steps it through. His shot is in! And the Wings have tied it on their first power play goal in the last 6 games. 2-2. Borja's first goal since February 18th, the day his daughter was born.
You know, they opened up a sort of threat of a ball going to Irvine on the right. There you see, what's the defender go over to block Irvine? He gives Chico the goal, and Chico hits it into the corner of the net. Papaleo might not have been able to see it to the last minute as the ball flashed by him, and the Wings get something very unusual for them, a power play goal, but it's come to a very timely moment. The Wings tie it now with 6 minutes to go. Borja from Byrne on well, what can you say? They took advantage of a power play that was scored by Daly on Tom Sowen, and they're all tied up.
As somehow I think we thought we would be. 6:05 left to go in the game. 2-2 tie. Whistle at midfield. Ketter called for the trip on Tattoo, and Dallas will get it back. 2-2 tie. Borjas 22nd from David Byrne. And for David Byrne, he's climbing up the league scoring chart. That's 46 points now for Byrne. Irvine from Marrero was Wichita's first goal. Chinapoo for Dallas outside the red line, marked by David Byrne. Dallas got its 2 goals in a 1-minute, 47-second flurry in the third quarter. Powers dumps it in the corner for Tattoo against Willen. Tries to force the ball through. Ron Fearon covers against the boards.
Well, if you're wondering what the noise is in Reunion Arena right now, it's what their terminology is, the magic minute. So everybody's on their feet as Dallas try to go further ahead, and they're making signals, gestures and everything to try and get the fans to start pumping the Sidekicks team up as Wichita have tied it up at the 6-minute mark.
Terry Rowe for Ian Fairbrother. Wants to go to Ketter in the right corner against Chinapoo. Ketter keeps it alive. Tries to poke it down to Byrne. David has it. Rolls back to Fairbrother. Hammers a shot. Papaleo the save. Corner kick for the Wings.
Ian Fairbrother come in this year. He can strike a ball well. He's a very precise shooter. That one was going wide, and Papaleo didn't know what to do with it, so he puts it over the top for a corner kick. But Wichita now giving some pressure down the other way as the clock is important, as these two teams are both tied, and the crowd are still on their feet trying to exalt these Dallas Sidekicks on to try and snatch that third and vital goal.
5:08 to go in the game. Tied at 2. Borja takes the restart. Look for Irvine looping through the penalty area. Fairbrother up high on the right to take a shot. Well, they have Willen as an option in the middle. Borja wants to go to Dale. Irvine's volley saved by Papaleo. That's not an easy shot to take, but Irvine got a lot of force behind it.
Everybody waiting for the traditional kick that Wings have had a lot of success with this year. That's where Irvine loops around. He just stayed where he was, and Chico found him, and Dale volleyed a good shot, but Papaleo was equal to the task of the net. So, again, chances both ends right now as both teams try to get their third goal of the night to put them ahead.
Willen will take it at the red line of Wichita. 4:51 to go in the game. 2-2 tie. Borja ties it on the power play goal. How improbable was that?
Well, that's why I love stats sometimes, because sooner or later they're going to fall, and you know, I can't think of any better chance maybe to score a power play. But power plays have done us in these last 2 games, but not tonight. We tie the game with a power play, and Tom Sohn, there he is right now, just playing a great job defensively as well as his offensive thrust on the last one that caused the power play against Dallas.
Tattoo has 1 goal tonight. He redirected a Mike Powers shot in front. Tattoo fouled on the boards. He'll get it back. Boy, Tattoo's never happy. This time he's upset because he thought he had an advantage and he didn't want the whistle. Doc Lawson to the red line. Sets up Troy Snyder and got it to Kevin Smith. Tattoo in the corner against Sowen. Victor Moreland's right there to help if need be. Byrne in front, knocks it down. Beto's trying to play possum and get Byrne to play it back to his goalkeeper. Byrne won't. Smith takes it away. Tommy untucks Kevin Smith's shirt. They whistle it on Sowen. They'll give it back to Dallas. In the corner, Tattoo steps it through. Saved by Ronnie, and Fearon makes the dive and cover. Fearon wants to go long for Ketter. Tries to leave it for Rowe. No, but Borjas coming off the bench and takes it at the halfway line. Chico cuts behind a screen, leaves it for Willen. Gregg in front. Ketter can't direct it. Rowe does. It's not in, though. It's not in. Papaleo makes the save for Dallas. Willen back at the red line. 3:50 to go. Still tied at 2. Borja at the red line for Wichita. Chico off the boards for Rowe. Back to Borja. Overstepped, and Willen can hammer it from there. It's loose. Headed. Ketter's got it in. And the Wings lead 3-2. Ketter, the goal for Wichita. Wings lead 3-2.
Tremendous pressure from the Wings. The first one maybe from Terry Rowe could have been a goal. The second one from Ketter is a goal, and you're going to see it once again right now. Chico came out and started the spark of life. He gets the ball back from Terry Rowe, who kind of missed it. Gregg gets a good shot off, and then Ketter keeps on heading. Eventually he pushes the ball into the net. to put the Wings ahead 3-2 with 3:38 left in the clock. Big goal from Kedder. From an assist, I think, will be credited to Greg Willen, but it should be credited to the whole Wichita Wings as they came on. Even though they've just tied the game, they came on, they wanted to get that goal, and they put a lot of pressure on that Dallas Sidekick defense to do so.
3:38 to go in the game. 3-2 Wichita. Now it's time for the caveat again. The last 3 games between these two teams have been tied with a 6th attacker goal and sent to overtime. And Dallas has won both of them here. Dinner can wait, folks. This one isn't over. 3.5 to go in the game. Time of the goal, 11:22. Kedder's 4th from Greg Willen.
All eyes and attention right now will be on that Dallas Sidekick bench to see how long they wait before they pull the goalkeeper. Billy will give him a couple of more runs with the ball, and then... Oh, no. I'm sorry. I got to be as impartial as I can, but I thought that was a very unfair call. But the referee, doesn't matter what I think, folks. Perry Van de Beek, not David Byrne, Perry Van de Beek is going to be going to the box for 2 minutes on a power play attempt for Dallas for a tackle on Steve Kinsey. There he is right now. The hard call at this, a harsh call at this time of the game. As Wichita right now will try and kill a power play off as the Sidekicks push forward and trying to attempt to tie the game.
All right, on the year, Dallas is 1 out of 5 against Wichita when they have a power play. The Sidekicks face a Wichita Wings penalty killing unit that has allowed 7 of their last 14 goals into the net. So the penalty killers have struggled a bit lately as well. Dallas goes on to the power play. 3:20 to go in the game. They trail Wichita 3-2. On the year, Dallas hits 25% of their power plays. That is last in the MISL.
But we're doing away with stats right now, Dave, because it really isn't going the way of stats. It's Kevin Smith will quarterback it. Tattoo, the man to watch, is way over on the right-hand side of the field. Let's see what happens.
The ball knocked loose in front, and Chico Marrera hammers it into the scoreboard, so Dallas will get it back at the Wichita red line. 3:07 to go in the game, 1:47 in the man advantage. Dallas trying to tie. It's 3-2 Wichita.
There we see him right now. He's on the right-hand side of the power play, and who else to be over there by him is Tom Stone. That's Tom right now. You can see him leaning out that way. But remember, attention to your tattoo will leave other people open, so Wichita have got a lot to contend with in this power play, 1:47 left in it.
It's Chinapoo over to Tattoo. Chests it down against Sowen. Terry Rowe will bring it out against Smith. Smith sends it through. Hits Rowe on the hands. And give it back to Dallas in the Wings third. Smith wants to get it to Tattoo. Tommy Sowen's done such a fine job marking him all game. Back to Smith at the top. Chinapoo down on the left side to Kinsey. Marrera Fox. It's loose in front. Back heel. Beto saved by Fearon. Marrera Fox, Rowe, and Sowen on the pitch for Wichita. Fearon's distribution into the Dallas bench. 1:18 to go in the man advantage.
And we're going to see maybe a pull. Yeah, he's going to pull the goalkeeper, Billy. Now, this is a chance, folks. Obviously, the emphasis is going to be on defense for Wichita, but if they could get that ball into the other end of the field, there's an empty net to try and kick it into it. 6-4 advantage. Dallas on the power play. 2:38 to go in the game, Dave. 1:18 in the power play. So let's see what happens right now. Wichita are pushing out a little bit to try and prevent the goalkeeper Smith getting the ball, but that's going to happen anyway.
Beto will get it back to him. Smith at the red line. Once again, the last 3 games between these teams have been tied with a 6th attacker. Dallas will try to do it again. Dallas is the only team to be able to tie Wichita with a 6th attacker this year. Ferretti in front. Marrera knocks it away. Can he send it the length of the floor? No. Blocked by Beto at the red line. Kevin Smith in the kickoff circle. Inside a minute to go in the penalty. 2:14 to go in the game. Kinsey's at the far post. They try to get it to him. Beto in front. Knocked away by Byrne. David Byrne tripped. Wings have a restart in the Wichita end.
Point of interest. Both teams have a timeout left, so with 2 minutes to go on the clock, you'll probably see both teams using them at an opportune moment as Wichita get a break here, a free kick in their defensive third. Dallas setting up defensively. There's the clock on the screen right now. That's the time to go in the game. The other most important time is 44 seconds to go in the power play.
David Byrne at midfield. Knocked away by Chinapoo. Sowen keeps it alive. Dumps it back to the Dallas red line. The Wings regroup. 35 seconds in the man advantage. Chinapoo to Kevin Smith. To the red line. Chinapoo lets one go in front. Fox knocks it away. Soen sends one sky high to midfield. Smith will run it down at his own red line. In 20 seconds, Vanderbeck will be out of the box to help Wichita. Borja up at the top now. Beto sends it over on the right side to Chinapoo. Kinsey, can he find Tattoo in front? Farah knocks it down! It's away from Tattoo. Into the left corner. Tattoo goes down. Ball loose. Borja tries to bring it up. Sends it the length of the floor. It'll be wide to the left. 2-1. Penalty over. 1:19 left to go in the game. It's 6-on-5. Dallas' sixth attacker to midfield. Smith in the kickoff circle. Borja marks him. Beto back to Smith. Dallas scored with 6 seconds left last time in this situation. Chinapoo gets it to Bruno Ferretti. Red line on the left side. Kevin Smith has Chinapoo. He crosses the Wichita red line. Kinsey back to Chinapoo. Chinapoo lets a long one fly. Blocked by Morera. To midfield, it hits the glass. Borja against Kevin Smith, fouled by Smith. Wings restart. Borja long for Vanderbeck. Perry at the red line. Can he get it in? On the boards, he's tied up. Perry fights through. Can't get a shot away. Ball loose. Vanderbeck turns another time. 40 seconds left in the game. Dallas will mount one last charge. Kevin Smith, 30 seconds. The ball at midfield. Lawson in front. Morera knocks it away. Smith gets it back with 20 seconds outside the Wichita red line. Tattoo against Vanderbeck. They want it to Tattoo. Red line on the left boards. In front, Beto. No, it's loose. Shot blocked up in the air by Fearon. Vanderbeck hits it to the red line. 5 seconds. Ferretti in front. It's loose. Straight up in the air. 3, 2, 1. Wings win 3-2. What a finish in Dallas. Wings win 3-2 as they hold off a furious Dallas sixth attacker. Final score, Wichita 3, Dallas 2. Unbelievable.
Justice is served. We've been in this building twice now. Both similar situations. This time it was our chance to come back, and this chance it was our turn to hold on. You talk about fight, spirit, everything else. Great contest for the Wings as they pull off a win in the #1 team in the MISL's building. Wonderful game, wonderful finish anyway, as Wichita hold on, and I think
we'll take a break. Yeah, we'll take a break right now, and we'll come back with our players of the game. Wings 3, Dallas 2. This is MISL Soccer.
By spinning Doc Lawson and putting the ball into the net, that puts Wichita ahead 1-0. And then at the other end, you see the ball almost just runs through the crease, and Daly has a simple job of putting it in after the ball had gone through the boards and round the edge. And you know, that's a lucky break. Congratulations to Daly for putting it through there, as Mike Powers gets the credit this time in feeding Tattoo in front of the net after Wichita defense had made one of them few mistakes in this game. But now here's Chico Borja. The seat opens and he punishes them. They leave him a little gap, and there's the winning goal right now. As you're going to see, Greg Willem will wind up. It'll get blocked. Kedda heads it once by the goalkeeper. It isn't enough, but he's right there again to put the ball into the net. And that was number 3 for Wichita, and that was enough to take advantage of the only 2 goals by Dallas as they come from behind win right here in Dallas, home of the team with the best record in the MISL. Great comeback, and one I'm sure Terry and the team are very proud of.
Final score from Dallas. Wichita 3, the Sidekicks 2. This is MISL Soccer.